Praise viewers, we have come not to praise this book or venerate it, we've come to bury it under about 5,000 tons of sanctified salt. Welcome to Dice Scum Live, which is the term I use for our streams that are just covering books that there's no lore, there's no quality here, there's nothing good about what we're about to cover, or at least there's not enough of it to really matter. Name's Adam, and we're going to read the worst Mage book, and no, it's not Mage 20th.
I'm instant, and as I say, I'm crawling in my skin, and these wounds they will not heal.
I'm Randall, and I might just duck in the middle of this to go play Doom Eternal.
Oh, I thought you escaped. That's why you're like not even on the you're not even on our crappy
Hi.
PNG tubers.
No, this is an endurance run. I'm gonna see how much of this shit I can mainline.
I'm Tech Priest, and this is a shit book.
It is more than
Like I
shit.
cannot in any way.
And he's the one
Like
that usually
there's
tries to
nothing.
defend them.
Yeah.
You know you're
That's
fucked
when
when
you
the
know
devil's
it's bad.
advocate can't even do this.
We also have to say this is a mage book. This is a World of Darkness book. This is a White Wolf book. And we are considering it one of the worst.
Well, until Mage 5th comes out. Because they are threatening that. They are threatening Mage 5th.
Oh, at that point I'm jumping into the call.
So
It's infernal time.
so here's some things that people don't realize about Mage, and it's something I've only recently uncovered due to the efforts of another channel called the Gallard Group, who is a little more experienced with it. Mage had a hell of a time in terms of development, in that I don't necessarily. I can see people agreeing with this take. The best Mage was Mage First Edition. Because it went downhill from there in terms of complexity and in terms of just writing quality. Mage Revised is kind of proving that right. Because this is a Mage Revised book. Which technically is kind of like Mage 20th. It's tied to Mage 20th. It's around the same time. There's no real revised for Mage. And the later books along it, like we read the Hermetic one, which is actually also from that era, and it's pretty good. And then there's the NWO book, which was really fucking terrible for the first third. This is like around the same time. So I can't put this off any longer. This is going to be brutal for the book, not for us. Well, maybe for us. Let's show Crawling in Our Crawl. Welcome to Hollow Ones, which already opens up on something that feels dated. It just, the cover alone is already a bit off.
So we have Cyberpunk in the background with a 19
Wraithathu in the middle.
Well,
I was going to say
I'm
right if
glad
they
you
were a
asked.
1990s female love interest from a science fiction movie.
Yeah, Fifth Element. That's what I was thinking.
I'm thinking more like Tank Girl.
Tank Girl. Yeah, the hair.
The definition of a fop on the right.
No, he's
And it
trying
looks
to
like
Lord Byron Max, and it's not working.
it looks like just an Asian woman on the left.
But speaking of Wraithathu, what if I told you that one of the foundational authors of modern Gothic literature is Storm Constantine, who wrote it based on her experiences in the goth subculture?
It's all one big conspiracy, and it goes back to the shrew people.
No, it all goes to it's all French. It's all French all the way down.
Honestly, considering probably that subculture, or at least this book, it does make one want to just embrace the Wraithathu.
It just makes me want to crawl into the call and hopefully die, but I don't care if my avatar gets inverted because that just means I can seek non-existence that way. It'll be great. Narcissism and absinthe, which maybe that's what the writers were on. I don't know.
The Hollow Ones walk their own way. They don't need anyone else's acceptance, man. And they sure as hell don't need anyone telling them how to go about their business. Other mages dismiss them as juveniles and junkies.
Well,
And yet,
that's
even
what
the
they are.
traditionalists can be wrong. And they have a very wide, as the Hollow Ones have a very wide network indeed.
Not that wide. They were the afterthought in the Pariahs book. By the way, their section in the Pariahs book is the worst of them. It's better than what's in here, but not by much. So the
It's
two
better
people,
because it's shorter.
yes. So the two people who wrote this are Angel McCoy and Tad McDivitt. If I recall correctly, Tad actually had some experience with Changeling the Dreaming, and actually should have known better than to write this.
I mean, yes, experience the changeling, the dreaming. That's a red flag right there.
He's done other works. It's just the ones that I most remember him for is for his Changeling books. As for Angel, the thing I most remember her for is, you know, that genre of supernatural romance where it's, and then the werewolf abducts the girl to insert 50 Shades of Grey style shenanigans.
You mean insert 50 Shades of Red?
As
Get it?
vampires.
No,
No,
because
'cause dog.
werewolf.
Oh.
So the person on the Hermit Tarot card, this is what I think that the titular character does look like. I don't think that's what they were going for, but that's the mental image I'm going with. Because let's just say that I spent a good hour shitting on the first 3 pages of this book when I first read it. I spent an hour, boot by boot, comma by comma, belt to belt buckle, shitting on this.
Hey, that's faster than Mahler does with his reviews.
Yeah, I went full EFAP on this. That's how fucking bad this book is. That is the
Wouldn't it be
capabilities of this
actually?
book.
Wouldn't it be EPAP? Every page a pause
Yeah.
or paragraph a pause?
To give you an idea, I want to show a little something something. We actually have art for that. We have art for the opening 3 pages. Because it is that fantastic. It is that amazing. Allow me to show you the wonderful art that was made by Lieutenant Sec. Because, yeah, we kind of need to. Let's see, where did I put you? Is this you? There you are. So what happened was, as I was shitting on this book, a discussion occurred on what happened in it, and the titular character, which I tend to call Mark, his name is Mark, he gets beaten to shit in the opening story, and it leads to the idea that several characters that the artist played as and another guy played as mugging him and were the ones responsible for beating him to shit and back. Because just to summarize the story, it is the saddest 21st birthday ever. And since I based him on the dude in the trench coat, okay, so imagine a dude who's in his school shooter clothes. He's wearing his trench coat. He has the AK-74 hidden in his belt pocket. He has the mom jeans. He has the combat boots he stole out of a fucking Spencer's, I guess. And imagine
He just
he's in.
post-
Now
He
you buy
just-
that shit at a Milsurp store.
He just posted "Don't come to school tomorrow" on 4chan.
Well, you're saying that, but like the opening is him sitting in a McDonald's eating not a Happy Meal, just the Happy Meal sized fries for his birthday meal. And just imagine him looking like this. He hasn't bathed in months. He steals the washing machines at the laundromat. He just shoves his stuff in there while the other people are doing things. He sits in the cuck corner like a dog in his apartment. And it culminates in 2 people, for no reason, showing up to beat him to near death. And I will just because it's really fucking funny. It's really fucking funny. I will read the section where he gets hollowed out because you can interpret that as him voiding his bowels.
The day. Also, I do have to say, Lieutenant Sec, your artwork, it kind of looks like the goth version of Ganersica.
I'd actually argue that I think it would work for this book better than what they actually drew, since there are some beautiful specimens in the later part of this book.
Yeah, this first artwork just looks like somebody spiked the punch bowl with Fent.
Yeah, so the original artwork that I saw was, let's go here. So you're in the crack den, all the crack hoes are dead, the junkies are dead, and you have Shaggy, some interpretation of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, about to get his pussy destroyed by, I guess, see, originally I thought the guy in the shade was Mark, and this was just me going, okay, he's going full spree killer, he's killing his roommates first. But no, the guy with the long hair is supposed to be Mark. But I'm sorry, by that point, the guy on the hermit card just kind of became Mark in my head because he just has
Yeah.
that look. He looks like he crawled out of the Wraith of Thu RPG. So you have Mark going, okay, I've killed 7 people today. Want to be my 8th? And Shaggy's like, no, man, zoinks! And then he gets shot. But anyway, getting hollowed out. So this is hilarious. And by hilarious, I mean they were going for tragic, but it's really funny. Mark woke up on the floor. His head pounded. His face stung. His whole body ached, which means his pussy got destroyed. Then it got worse. Someone slapped him. Where is it? The question crashed through Mark's pain. It came on a gravelly voice, male and pissed. Oh yeah, I should also mention that the writing in this, very strong Mark Waid very strong Chuck Wendig when he was writing Star Wars, which is not good because that's when he lost his talent.
Oh boy.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mark replied, his mouth sore. What did you do to him? What happened to his mouth?
It's because he was shoving stale French fries into it.
That's why you don't eat stale Happy Meal French fries, man. The man backhanded him. Don't fuck with me. I have neither the time nor inclination to play games. This is about life or death. Yours. Tell me where the book is or die. Do you want to die? In a moment of surreality, Mark seriously considered the question. It was his birthday. He was 21 and had never felt so completely miserable, so totally pitiful in all his life. He wanted to cry like a baby. He hurt. He was cold. He was hungry. He was alone. He was still getting beaten. Did he want to die? He did. I'm not kidding. Like, this is what the writing is going to be from the rest of the book, by the way. There's no change from this. So strap in. Or rather, at that moment, he didn't care one way or the other. It seemed a reasonable solution to his pain. The man hit him again, harder. Mark tasted blood. This is like Cat in the Hat, but shit. Where is it? What? Mark screamed abruptly. What? I don't know. He tried to crawl away from his attacker. A kick to his gut sent him into a fetal position. So, okay, imagine this school shooter looking motherfucker. He is on the ground, curled up. Oh, by the way, it took him like a minute to realize everyone in the apartment was dead. I skipped that because if we stay on this, I will turn this into an EPAP. I'm trying to speedrun this as best as I can. I am sorry. So he's in a fetal position, and he had nothing, and the abuse turned him right back to the little boy he had once been, suffering the anger and insanity of his father's fist. This came out of left field, by the way.
Yeah, he's an abuse victim.
Yeah, listen, it's supposed to be a young white guy in, I think, Seattle.
Yeah.
He's got to have some horrible, tragic backstory.
Dad issues. Dad issues.
Dad goofy time him one too many times.
He had done nothing to deserve those attacks. He had done nothing to earn this one either. His mind and soul rebelled against a return to those old feelings. He had fled them once successfully for a while, but they caught up with him. The fear and guilt that haunted him throughout childhood had returned, and so had his weakness. In that moment, he hated himself more than he ever had.
I began to hate.
In that moment, he knew beyond a shadow of the doubt that he deserved to die. He had outlived his usefulness on the planet.
I'm getting beaten by a drug dealer. My life's over. I deserve death.
I'm getting beaten up by a homeless man to have him steal my coat. My life is over.
But then, an old man shows up out of nowhere.
No. You're getting. I'm getting there. His avatar had other plans. Mark gave in to the idea of dying. He relaxed into it and released every hold on the world he knew. He voided his emotion and fears and his
So he
bowels.
shat his pants.
He hollowed himself out in preparation for death. So you have this guy wailing on this pathetic specimen.
And then none other than Jean-Paul Sartre, famous French philosopher, shows up and
advocate for the
Wait.
lowering of age and for the Khmer Rouge doing what they did in Cambodia.
What? What?
No, I'm making it.
Well, no, it's an old Frenchman.
Okay.
It's an old Frenchman who is key.
All right.
No, here's the thing. It's an old Frenchman who was actually key to Gothic subculture because of his critical theories and shit. So
But
him being
this
Sarter
it's
reincarnated isn't out of the question. No wonder this man wanted to beat him to death.
yeah. And then a woman shows up.
Her name being Misery, spelled with 2 Y's.
Uh,
And the
Mysery.
French man talking to the hollowed out young boy.
Oh,
Do
I
not
just
move.
realized, when was this written? Was this written like 2000? When was this book written?
Just lie still. They have sensed you.
No,
They are
here's
coming.
my reason why. Did they rip off Ratatouille for this?
This is way before Ratatouille.
No,
Oh,
are you sure?
Probably
Yes.
recent
This
stuff.
is post Week of Nightmares.
Ratatouille didn't come out until like 2000 something. Like, hold on.
I'm curious because this is not. This is in the 2000s as well.
He knew that he and the old man were linked in some inextricable way.
2007 was Ratatouille, so this is way after that. So sorry, that was way after
Okay.
He
this.
kept
Ratatouille.
He kept his eyes on the old man like a child trying hard to be brave.
Yeah.
Mark still wanted to cry, and don't worry, the old man said, "Tears are natural. Take a picture. It'll last longer."
I'm not kidding. This is our protagonist for this book, and we're gonna have to deal with him for the next, I don't know, like 70 pages.
And then the woman shows up to
I don't
gaslight
blame
him
you.
to say everything's going to be okay.
I forgot she
And by the
doesn't
way-
even have an EY. Wait, did they misspell
Yep,
misery?
her name is Misery.
Spelled wrong.
Oh, the
Misery.
misery. And then, from that, he was able to force lightning his attackers
No,
out of
he did
existence.
not. She did.
She sent them to the Shadow Realm.
You're going to the Shadow Realm, guy who beat this man up into begging for his
The
daddy
big-
to kill him.
to the
By the way,
big
that's
dark
another thing that
holes.
Mark does say. He begs for him to kill him like his daddy would have at one point in this.
So, Misery and the 3 men with her parted ways on the street, heading off in 4 different directions. Mark went with Misery, limping along with her help. She took him to a black old-style VW Bug.
Yeah. Which
She says, "You're not going to freak on me or anything,
no, you
are
forgot
you?"
the black rose on the dash's flower vase. Because quirky
What's your name?
gothic.
Mark, I'm going to take you to my place. My name's Misery, in case you didn't get that before. This isn't my car, so if you feel like puking or anything, warn me, okay?
Millennial
just borrowed
writing
it to come
before
and get you.
millennials got their hands on the computer keys.
You're not only going to be fine, you're going to be better than you've ever been. You're safe now, and you'll never have to eat out of dumpsters or live in shitholes like that ever again.
Unless you want to. Be in the filth where you belong.
He wasn't hungry anymore.
No,
It
no.
wasn't anything but a deep,
Hey,
low rumble of friction, of static,
Imp.
and of dissonance.
Randall was going to say something.
Apologies.
When does Hagrid burst in and declare that he's a Satanist?
Oh, that's what Misery is. So Misery is Mark's Hagrid, and we will get into more about her. There are images of her, and they are horrifying.
This is My Immortal, but with better grammar.
I'd
look at
actually,
that.
Yeah.
barely.
And look at that image.
They really wanted to go for the sad, pathetic. Are you sure these weren't scene kids?
Oh, of course there were.
I had comments about this, but the only thing I can think of is that that's supposed to, I guess, be a representation of her dead lover. But I like the idea that it's actually just some random homeless bum who stole like a monk's robe and is just like going soon over her.
Wait, Lieutenant Sack. She's Wednesday Adams' autistic sister. Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
So this drawing is like 5 seconds before the cemetery groundskeeper comes in with a shotgun and demands they leave, right?
We're not filming Necromantic Part 4.
What? How many times have I told you French people to get out of my graveyard? You aren't filming your weird pornography here. Cock shotgun. So the introduction is Prometheans Unbound, which this is supposed to be a description of how they're supposed to work. And the way they're going with this is that the Hollow Ones attempt to be like Prometheus in that they defy the gods, which are supposed to be the traditions and the conventions, because they don't fit into the traditions. They're what? Okay, so they're what's called an orphan line. Orphans are mages that don't follow the traditions nor the conventions, or if they do it in their own way. Because mages need something to follow. They need some idea, some concept, some paradigm, because the power over reality they have, if they don't control it at all, if they don't come up with a world system to think of, they go nuts. How nuts? Imagine a bunch of clown people who can warp reality just from wandering around it because of their hallucinations telling them so. That's what
I mean,
happens. They're called marauders.
magnets. How do they work?
So you have to come up with a concept on how the world works, and this is what their concept is. These avant-garde forethinkers suffer the torments of ostracism and infamy, but like Prometheus in Shelley's poem, because God forbid we use the Greek classic, we're gonna use Percy Shelley, not even the more famous Shelley. We're gonna use the other guy. They escape their chains, for heroism and romance always conquers in the end, no matter the cost. So basically, what happened was one of the writers was really inspired by Lord Byron and 18th century poets romanticism, and they weren't smart enough to actually know how to read it, and this is the product. It's only going to go downhill from here. Each hollower follows an individual path, which makes them all dress the fucking same and act the fucking same and do exactly the same fucking things. But they're all totally different. They're an individual.
All of them.
South Park made fun of this. Goth kids literally were a point to make fun of this. While the traditional image of a Hollow One mage is a goth girl or boy, hopelessly morbid and outcast, that's not the whole truth behind the loose tradition of sorts. Certainly many of them do go for the goth look, but just as many go for Euro trash rave styles, or just about anything else on the fringe that's very old or now, or never last week. Hollow Ones are not about 70s or 80s retro. They're either the avant-garde of the counterculture, or utterly retro Victorians, Edwardians, or Roaring Twenties poets and flappers.
And why limit that their retro to that? Like, why not go like full 1700s pop?
That would have been
I
cool.
want to see some. I want to see some damn powdered wigs.
I came up with
they could.
I could have gone with. I have an idea for a 50s greaser kind of guy, where they have the fucking pompadour and they look like Fonzie.
Yeah. Unironically, that would make a pretty decent like mage character.
The Fawn's the Hollow One. Might actually work.
You have a bunch of homoculi who are like your greaser goons that whatever you say, they follow it up with, "Yeah, you sure told him, boss."
Exactly.
And then you got your magical souped up ride, and you're basically like, get out of my way, tech goons, as you're running over Iteration X Terminator robots.
You're just James Dean from Rebel Without a Cause.
Yeah, that'd be a great way to play that. The traditions, outdated paradigms. Reminder that this book was written when the goth subculture died.
Yup.
It's 10 years too late. And this is basically a person really into the subculture screaming as their irrelevance destroys them.
I'll bring back disco!
This would be like if they did in the 1990s, like early White Wolf, if they did an entire cabal of mages that were disco themed and it was written by a person who really missed being able to take quaaludes and dance on the floor. Same energy.
Actually, Disco Wizard sounds cooler.
That was one of my second ideas, actually, for a Hollow One. Because I'm envisioning, like, you go full Black Dynamite with a ridiculous afro, the fucking bling chain, the 1 foot tall platform shoes, and you use the power of funk, like your literal dance moves to cast.
Because we got the funk. Wanna have that funk.
So the theme of this book is eternal romance, the romance being My Chemical Romance, or perhaps the romance in My Immortal. I don't know.
The romanticism period.
They don't know what that is.
Screw science. It's and like logic. It's all passion, artistic, and denying reality.
Which makes them very much a tradition, not a convention.
Mm-hmm.
but we don't follow the rules.
Except
We
for
do our own
our
thing.
style. Except for our style, where it's all the fucking same. Lexicon. Since the Hollow Ones have no central tradition from which they draw their culture, society, or paradigm, they've got no central language for their concepts, except perhaps those used by modern mages. Which means that they're so nonconformist that they conform to the basics. Wamp wamp. The Hollow Ones are the last romantics, keeping the flame alive in an era of technocratic control and dogmatic religion. What makes that different from all the other mage traditions, then? Also, if we're talking like lost traditions, the Hermetics nail that much better. Putting on the robe and wizard hat is legitimately like the example of a fucking wizard.
And if they lose most of their battles, well, that only makes a few victories more poignant and the defeats more heroic. What's romance without martyrs?
You
Said
heard
the
it here.
Imperium of Man.
You heard it here. Their whole purpose is to lose because that makes their art better, man.
Wait, hold on. What's wrong?
They want to lose.
I've got the idea here. Hollow One ISIS fighters.
Yes, I was about to say that these guys are like the most mopey suicide bombers ever.
The problem
Inshallah, we shall
We're
reclaim.
destroying the history of the Middle East because it doesn't matter. That could actually work.
That's the worst part about it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that's more of a choir thing, but no, no. You could argue because their whole thing is being the tragic romantic hero, like Lord Byron in his quixotic attempt to save Greece.
And ISIS had their own music. They had their own media.
Listen, the dank nasheeds will continue until morale improves.
So I've been fishing. You got the guy who did the original like classic Swords of Islam song. A dude in the Palestinian terror Mickey Mouse costume.
I will say that those songs fucking slapped. All right,
they did.
A member of the
Unironically.
Mujahideen.
And then you got the random white convert.
Larry.
I lost my wife. I lost my kids. But at least I have Allah.
I think that we might have made the best Hollow Ones cabal without even meaning to. You know this book's good when we're already talking about active terror.
Now let's go plot to destroy the Jews. Inshallah, my brothers.
Oh god, the thing on page 11. Look at this horrible art. No, page 12.
No.
This is page 12 technically in the book.
Oh god.
In the PDF it's 11. It's awful.
You see, we're a tradition, a history.
Oh, I need to do
It's not a self-imposed mythology like, oh, I don't know, the political movements that were heavily romanticizing their own nation's past in the 1920s and 30s.
It's
What I'm
almost
saying
like
what
they're
I'm
full of shit.
what I'm saying is that considering we're artists, one of us was probably a failed art student in the 1920s.
You're joking. You're joking. No. Here's the thing, Imp. That's actually what happened. Their founder was a failed artist in the 20s named Neville Sinclair, who was best buddies with dudes like Crowley.
So he was part of the BNP?
Yeah.
Yes. Did he eat shit? Did he eat shit with Crowley?
I want to realize this. If that's the case, he got his ass beaten by a bunch of communist punks in the 30s.
I know.
But see, no, that means he lost, which means that he's more romantic.
I was gonna shit on the art, but yeah, it's even funnier. I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's awful.
He wrote a bunch of mopey poetry about the Battle of Cable Street and getting beat up by commies.
Oswald Mosley is my Oshi.
Oh, sorry. I was just making sure that because I saw something Lieutenant Sex said, and I thought I might have. I thought guys might have not been seeing the stream, but no, we're good. So, Chapter 1, the saga. We are the Hollow Men. We are the Stuffed Men. Learning together, SpongeBob. Headpiece filled with straw, alas, our dried voices when we whisper together, are quiet and meaningless, a wind in dry grass, our rats feed over broken glass in our dry cellar.
That was
The
beautiful,
literal,
Patrick.
Thank you, SpongeBob. I am artastic. So the entire point of the Hollow Ones are they came from this poem. Because in the original Pariah's book, what happened was a Verbena was like, what the fuck are you guys? Like, what are you? And Neville, being the midwit he was, quoted
Being
this
the
horrible
pretentious
poem.
fuckbag he is.
Because this poem sucks, because it rhymes men with men, and then it tries to do a
The
terrible slant rhyme. It sucks.
No, if the Hollow Men poem is fine,
There's
it's fine.
sorry. This is just
No.
talking about scarecrows.
No, T.S. Eliot was a hack fraud.
Speaking of which, I do have a reaction for Oopsie Doopsie.
I mean, it's the thing that gave us not a bang but a whimper.
Let's see, where's
Which
the
is
my
what the
how the
hol-
world
which is just
ends.
which is just what the hollow ones are.
T.S. Eliot is displeased. Look at the expression on his face. The expression on this man's face when he realized his poetry inspired this fucking book. Just give me something for the pain and let me die. I mean, come on. That's basically what I envisioned. So instead of actually getting into the history of the Hollow Ones, because they don't have one, we continue with our vagina monologue. The third time Mark saw her was the charm. He stopped in the local goth cafe for an infusion of caffeine. Reminder, this man could not afford the Happy Meal fries. He barely afforded the Happy Meal fries for his birthday. That's how fucked he is. He couldn't afford that.
A double espresso.
By the way, don't worry. They're so individual that they have the exact same coffee orders. All of the Hollow Ones that go to this shitty cafe all order double espressos. No lattes, no just taking it black. No, they don't even determine do they want Kona, Arabica, or the one from South America, Robustus. They don't know any. Like, if you're gonna go into this stupid cafe culture shit, actually try to do a little bit of research on cafe culture shit, because coffee snobs make wine snobs look reasonable. And you can trick wine snobs with $2 Chuck if you describe what it's like hard enough.
But that's cultural imposition.
By the
We
way,
need to be individual.
by all ordering double espressos. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He does smell at her perfume and shampoo and her sex. So he is smelling. She doesn't bathe. Misery does not bathe.
Misery was hot. She wore her
doesn't bathe.
desert-colored hair, short and scrappy, like a boy or a computer tech who doesn't give a shit about her looks. She didn't wear any makeup either. Everything else was all woman. Her black turtleneck
unwashed
was
woman.
of a thin material. Her smallish breasts lay loose and low enough to make it distractingly obvious that she wasn't wearing a bra.
So this is Misery, and first off, you can tell that her tits are where her belly button should be. So she has grandma tits despite being an A cup.
Wait, no, she has like double tits.
No, that's supposed to be her shoulder.
That's her
It's
shoulder.
But it does. It makes it look like she's got double tits.
She's like a dog or something. Like, what the
She's a white
fuck?
woman trying to become the dog.
So first off, she has grandma tits. Second off, she's not wearing a bra, so you can see her nips. Third off, since it's almost see-through because it's really thin, you can actually see her skin partially underneath it. Oh, and fourth off, she doesn't bathe, which is why Mark can smell her sex, because that is an actual line in this book. Mark can smell
hold
her
on.
sex.
Doesn't bathe.
Oh, and also pixie cut.
Yeah, pixie cut. Socially isolated, socially awkward. I'm assuming. Are we sure she's not just a VTuber?
No, she's a femcel.
No, femcel, because she's not a lesbian. At least as far as we know.
True. We all know that to be a VTuber, you need to be a lesbian.
Even the men.
Especially the men.
Especially the men.
You got to gay bait. Gay for pay is a big thing in the VTubing. So, Mark is better. Movement seen out of the corner of eyes caught his attention. He glanced that way. Since his awakening, things had seemed strange. Don't worry. That's just the drugs kicking in. Don't worry.
Yeah. Also, speaking of gay
He's
for pay,
noticing. He's becoming a noticer. Oh no.
Yeah. Relax, Mark. She intoned. You're so uptight. Does it still hurt?
So I guess she pegged him. Does it still hurt?
He needed her to talk him down first, and then later he needed her to explain what was happening to him.
Also, it's tar-colored espresso, and took the money he paid. Money he
Ew.
earned cleaning a garage for a friend of misery. So they have to poorly explain why Mark, who in the opening art, remember, this is like early 2000s McDonald's. He barely was able to afford the little tiny Happy Meal French fry bag, and he was paying $100 a month for a little cut corner in the apartment. So these mages are basically essentially inducting him into their cult by levying debt on him until he joins them. How is this any better than the other traditions and conventions, which do the same shit sometimes? Oh, it isn't?
She's a goth. She was watching the woman behind the counter. The goth held herself with stoicism, prim and proper, a
Oh,
pair
by
of
the way,
black
also
gloves
double
in one
espresso.
hand.
They all drink double
Yeah.
espressos.
And an old-fashioned leather doctor's bag in the other. Black lace, ruffles, and silver buttons all combined to paint her into the perfect vision of Victorian widow.
Lame.
Her body was ripe, full-figured, and sexy.
You can see why one of the writers did romance a lot.
The luminescent pallor of her face, rounded cheeks, high forehead, persisted even under the glaring of the fluorescent lighting. Black flamed librarian glasses slipped down her austere nose. Her lips were like her body, ripe, fully and fleshy, painted burgundy wine.
You love that use of the word fleshy to describe how attractive this person is. Oh yeah, they're nice and fleshy. What is this, a cannibal describing their next meal?
I want to rip her skin open and eat it.
Is this from the point of view of like the Nagaraja that's hidden in the back, just contemplating eating this fat chick?
So plump, tender, it'll marble nicely.
Itchy, tasty.
well marinated.
Well, I
She
mean,
doesn't
also this character's name is Penny. Penny Dreadful, which is the name for the garbage that you would buy for a pence at a bookstore.
So she's calling herself basically gutter trash.
Hi, I'm gutter trash. Hi, I'm Mark.
Well, actually,
hi,
Mark. You know
Mark.
what I would call it? The AI slop of its day.
No, people actually tried with Penny Dreadfuls. Like, they just were untalented. That's the problem.
Oh, so the fan fiction of their day.
Yes. Actually, a lot of Penny Dreadfuls started as fan fictions of more famous works. Including a bunch of weird erotica for Sherlock Holmes.
Oh my god.
The oldest fan fiction is that.
Was it gay erotica or straight erotica?
Yes, because that was a big thing, is they often tried to ship Sherlock with Watson.
Oh my.
It's the first slash
Nothing new under the sun.
So the gothette quirked one thinly drawn eyebrow. So she shaved her eyebrows. She actually shaves her eyebrows and pencils new ones on, I guess. Horrifying. Has anyone strange approached you since last time I saw you, Misery was talking? I don't know. I think there's a bunch of strange fucking people here, personally.
I was going to say, Penny is visiting from San Francisco. No shit.
I could tell that she was from San Francisco. I could smell her before she showed up.
Neville Nevermore? That's one of his names, yes. He also goes by Neville Sinclair.
Neville,
my mentor.
Neville Nevermore, when I first read that line, I immediately knew I had to swirly this man. I had to grab him. I had to grab him and then immediately spike him like a football into the nearest toilet. It's just the name, Neville Nevermore. That sounds like the name of a person that even the band geeks would bully.
That sounds like the first draft version of a character from Harry Potter.
This is the only man. No, this is a man who would get made fun of for being stupid by the nearby special ed class going, ha ha, look at that stupid guy. This is a man whose existence is to get swirlies and to be shoved into lockers. That is his purpose. That is his paradigm. And maybe that's why he became a Hollow One. Maybe that's why. By the way, this is the founder of the Hollow Ones. This is the associate of Crowley.
He's the uber dweeb.
This is
He's
the
like the
loser.
head he's the head vampire. So if you kill him, all the goths die.
By the way, the name felt powerful upon his tongue. Neville Nevermore sounds powerful to Mark.
It sounds. I can't.
Neville Nevermore sounds like the name of a.
I never asked for this. My last name is Nevermore.
Neville
And soon
Nevermore
I'll
sounds
take
like
them all to hell with me.
it's the name of a Wraithathu porn artist. I'm sorry, but like that's not a name that. Oh, by the way, the person on page 16, that's supposed to be Penny Dreadful, and this is the best art I've seen of this character. This has all of the energy of a wife who did not handle the divorce proceedings very well. This is wife 2 weeks after the divorce that was ruled by the judge to be in her fault, and she had an emotional psychotic break, trying desperately to prove that she still has her looks because she lost everything else in the divorce.
And then she goes into the history of the Hollows.
Oh, don't worry. So let's see how many pages they go into the Hollow One's history. So let's see, 1, 2, 3-ish, 4-ish. It's pretty long, right? It looks like there's going to be a lot of material, right? I'm scrolling through this. What if I told you that you could literally summarize this in one page?
For
I
instance,
believe you.
you cannot pinpoint the exact moment when the Civil War began. You can name the date on which the first shot was fired or when the first political clash began, but is that when the tensions really began?
Actually, the Civil War didn't start until insert arbitrary date from here, Smug chuckles at midwit response. I don't know about that. I think it would be probably when the southern states legitimately started leaving the country.
I think it would be when they fired upon Union soldiers.
Yeah, when the Union soldiers refused to leave Fort Sumter.
I mean, even if we're going like the with the midwit, those were just the flashpoints for a longer conflict. You could you could say that the ball in the Civil War really got rolling with the Mexican American War.
You could argue that. I would say that if you really want to play silly bollocks, the first stage of the Civil War was Bleeding Kansas.
Right.
I'll go even further. The 3/5 compromise.
Now, everyone knows that the Civil War started the moment Leif Erikson, some white boy, got his ass lost on his way to Valhalla and landed on Vinland on accident. Everyone knows that's when the Civil War started.
No. It's when Romulus and Remus were raised by wolves.
No. It's when Ugg, Grug, and Chug decided to follow the woolly mammoths across the Bering Land Bridge, and then said fuck when the bridge sunk under the water.
Yeah, but no, it's
it's actually when Monkey first stood up, because that's the
No, I was gonna go when the first when the first multicellular organism began.
I'm just envisioning the first cell getting made out of the primordial ooze, and you just hear God going, "Oh fuck, I didn't mean to." Like that's the stupid relativistic bullshit that Penny is trying to say, and it's garbage. Yeah, there's preceding points, but there's a reason people tend to agree that when Southern soldiers started disarming forts run by the U.S. government and then fired upon the ones that said "Go fuck yourselves, militia," that's when the Civil War properly started. You could argue it started a little earlier here and there, but there are strong flashpoints. It's similar to how the difference between air and fire, like if you ever try to touch a candle, like a candle's flame, like yeah, there's a variation on when it'll burn you, but there is a difference between the hot air and the fire, you know?
Yeah.
This is horseshit. This is absolute horseshit.
Romance is older than the Council of Nine. It has held sway over the world since long before the Ascension Wars. Its magic has birthed and destroyed nations. It has broken hearts and committed murder most foul.
Okay.
We, the Hollow Ones, are the keepers of this thing that kind of sounds like it's an eldritch abomination.
You know, there is actually a fun horror story I remember where the concept of loving another is actually an eldritch monster.
I think it's an SCP.
It is. Lieutenant Sex going, No, what happened was the Civil War started when God said, "Let there be light." Now, where's my smoke? I'm gonna have a long week. I hope the smoke that he takes was a crack pipe, because that sounds about right for the level of shit posting we're doing here.
And now I'm gonna make the Nephilim.
So, romance expressed through murder, cannibalism, resurrections, and hauntings, through ancient tales of chivalry, sacrifice, and basically they have nothing to work with, and they're refusing to do any research. So this is what happens through most of the history section: is waffling, garbage, endless trash.
Penny emphasized the first word, I am the living embodiment of romance.
No, you're
Mark
not.
it, am the
No.
living embodiment of romance. We trace our roots as far back as the early Middle Ages with confidence. The
No,
days of knights, of maidens, of kings and queens, of the Rosicrucians, of the Templars.
Okay.
Just imagine if she went back.
The
We're actually the Illuminati.
I am.
Emo Illuminati.
what are you gonna say, Tech?
I don't even know what to say to that.
So what
Like,
happened
this
was
is some of the stupidest fucking shit that they put in a book.
essentially
That's
they had
saying
nothing to
something.
work with. The initial concept, from what I'm seeing, is they are the toreadors of the mage traditions, right? That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Their concept of romance is their whole thing is feelings and emotions, invoking, making others see the one, almost changeling like. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
So, being artist mages, that sounds like you could do some cool stuff out of it. Like you could have painters, people who tell stories like Beowulf or something like that. But they don't go that route, because this is a person who has aged out of the goth subculture as the goth subculture fucking died. And going, no, it's still cool. It's still cool. They scream as they read their Wraithathu fan fiction that they write
I'm
and
still hip.
ugly cry in the mirror in the bathroom. That's what I'm getting out of this. And then it's going to get really fucking ridiculous. So they go from the concept of chivalry, which you could argue that's romantic. You could argue it's definitely something that you could do, but this is bullshit. Until we get to Gothic art and architecture, which exploded in the mid-12th century in Normandy and Burgundy, which is a load of horseshit. It was founded in Ile-de-France. And the term Gothic art wasn't even the term for it. That wasn't even the term for it. It was called the French style, because it was started by French people. It was also called, in a lot of places, the modern style, because it was a new take. Essentially,
Mhm.
it evolved from Romanesque style architecture, which was an attempt to mimic older basilicas and older Roman engineerings. And they were like, okay, then we got this cool new idea called the flying buttress and the rib vaults. Let's see how
Right.
this shit looks. And it looked good. It looked good. The French liked it. A lot of the Germans would grow to like it. The Italians, not so much, but which is why they called it the work of the Germans. It was called German style to them, the German style or the German method. While it was in other places, it was called the French method, the modern style. Until about 100 years after the Renaissance. This is not what the book's saying. This is what actual history is saying. 100 years after the Renaissance, 100 years after they tried to rebuild in the style of Vitruvius, the Roman architect from the first century, classic Roman buildings, an Italian man looked at the Gothic buildings from centuries prior and went, "This is shit. This is the type of stuff that the barbarians like the Goths would fucking make. Those pieces of shit who destroyed Rome and made things suck for centuries. Why we're going back to Rome." Like that's where Gothic came from.
To be fair, I think they do mention that.
Well, no.
They
They say
half-assed
here,
that,
Gorio Vasari,
which
he
is the guy.
attributed them to the East Germanic peoples.
Which is
Goths took a lot of heat for that, as we always have.
so you were
Yes.
barbarians who destroyed Rome.
Yeah. And I think Vasari was right, thank heavens. Original classicism needed to die to make way for the heart of humankind to beat freely
Are you
again.
stupid?
How many people died in the Middle Ages due to the failing infrastructure?
A lot. Also, keep in mind that the reason that he made fun of the French style was it was in vogue for a couple of centuries by that point.
Mhm.
This is basically looking at You ever see those really old houses, like a century or two old, and you're like, what the fuck were we thinking when we designed it like that? Like, you ever see something that looks really fucking stupid from 2 or 3 centuries ago, or something you think looks horrible? Like some of the Elizabethan style dress, like the Victorian style dresses that are really poofy around the shoulders and shit.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you ever look at a style that you went, what the
We
fuck
must
were
not
they thinking?
we must not see 1 inch of the female form, lest we succumb to our debased male lusts.
Uh,
Now fuck a prostitute.
Also, keep in mind, this Italian man, he was considered radical even by other Italian architects. Like, that's the thing. He was basically going, fuck the Gothic architecture, man. That shit's old, lame, and built by barbarians.
Mine, though, is wonderful,
My
hip, and modern. Please buy my work.
no,
Please
no,
buy it.
no. He didn't say modern. He said mine's timeless, bitch. It's the style of the Romans.
Who the fuck is Vasari again?
He was the architect who said that the French style was shit and came up with the term Gothic because in his
Yeah,
mind,
yeah.
in his mind, he compared the style because it was by this point it was more known for the German churches that were being built at this point than it was for the original French ones.
Yeah, and I'm saying timeless, and everlasting. I don't know of anything he made.
Well, yeah. I don't think he
I
meant
should just-
personally his style. I think he just meant the new style that was being built in Italy at the time.
Ah, okay. But
I'm just gonna
wait.
say this.
Yeah.
The fact that this book is written from the perspective of Mark being told all this shit makes it all worse.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's so
It's
a lot of White Wolf books do this with like the clans and tribe books where it's like, okay, listen, little shit, listen, little neonate, listen, you little pup, you little shit. Here's how this stuff works, and then it would actually just start reading, like explaining to you, like you're the dog, or the young vampire. You know what I mean?
But I
In
do
this
like this
one,
here.
what they fucked up was they made Mark a character and did not make Mark you, the point of view character being taught this stuff.
Wait.
Pariahs did this better because they actually did that, where they explained to you, the reader. This doesn't do that, and on top of that, they had no ideas for the history of. They sucked at this with New World Order. I think this is worse than the New World Order's history, since they at least had the idea of them being Her Majesty's Imperial agents recruited from the Hermetics.
I like this stuff. Pieces of stories continue to magically fly through Mark's mind. An Eastern warrior committing ritual suicide in order to preserve his honor. A child hidden away in a basket. Is he trying to play Moses as a hollow
Yes.
one?
Yeah, Moses is a hollow one. We know that this is canon now.
A crucifixion, a stoning, a sacrifice.
Yeah, Jesus was a hollow one too. We were all we were all hollow ones.
Goth-occupied government.
So the worst part is there's 3 mages and they will start interplaying and talking with each other through this entire section and later on. It's horrible.
Everyone thinks goths are just angsty snobs who do nothing but pose, posture, and pout. They
Yeah.
make fun of
Yes.
goths.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. don't they?
Deservedly. Deservedly.
They
if
look
this-
down upon us, the true inheritors of the world.
By the way, the best part about this is the writer getting very bitter that the goth subculture was dead by this point, and that they were made fun of in stuff like South Park. You can kind of feel it in the writing, can't you?
Everything about this is painful.
By the way,
Look
we're
at
actually getting
incarnation of
we're actually getting
romance.
close to where even I had to tap out. So let's keep going. Mark dropped an armful of rolled black socks in the milk crate he used as an underwear drawer. He patted them down to a semblance of neatness. Misery found him a job washing dishes at a local restaurant. He had money. He had an apartment. Life certainly had taken a turn for the better. By the way, so do you want to know how stupid this is? What if I told you, Randall, that mages literally have a thing they can do? It's a rote called the power of money, which just basically allows you to pull money out of nowhere.
Okay.
Isn't that a technocracy rote, though?
It is, but it's not like other mages couldn't figure that
Yeah.
out.
Hold on. I like this here. You have a wonderful collection of books, Mark. You like war stories, do you? Yeah, I suppose some of them. It depends. I'm not one of the guys like all things militaristic. I like to read about people, the heroes. You know what? Fuck. Wait. All Quiet on the Eastern Front. Storm of Steel. That's my jam.
Honestly,
Wait, what page are we
mood.
at?
19, 20, I think on the book, but 19 the PDF.
Yeah, it's 19 in the PDF. So another fun thing is, so where they went to is they went to get beef bourguignon. They went to a ritzy French restaurant, despite Mark being buck ass broke.
Oh no,
Oh wait.
see the Goths control the financial system.
Obviously.
I'm just now envisioning instead of the Syndicate, it's the Hollow Ones running the money, and it's really fucking funny.
Wait, NDR. Let me get the rum. I'm too sober for this shit.
Well, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I knocked back a bit just for this
Also,
fucking
Simon,
show.
I hate this to the point I don't want to comment.
Yeah, this is a book that I think you need at least a little glass of something.
I'm like,
Oh, I'm doing this
those ain't.
sober.
Wait, Penny. Those ancient times I showed you the last time we spoke
You showed
has
nothing.
survived only
No, here's the thing.
as
They
a-
showed nothing.
Yeah.
Nada. Zippo.
what they
Zero. Shit.
yeah, what they chose to believe holds a great deal of power. What they chose to believe was beautiful and clean and golden may have actually smelled bad, looked worse, and died horribly. But the myths are a legacy, and they hold truths inside them when you look closely enough. These truths, hidden in the secret code of history's tales, are largely unbroken code, I might add, convey the magic of the ancient ages to us.
I fucking hate you pretentious bitches.
By the way, you forgot the best part on page 19.
Also,
where
that she's hot. It's like they can't stop stressing that all these chicks are hot. I understand. They want the goth baddies. I get it. But please, I'm here to learn about fucking mage shit, not,
no, we're not getting that.
this.
We're not getting that. Instead, you get knocks on the door which show he saw a devil, black on red vinyl. The little devil struck a sassy pose. Mark chuckled and unlocked the door. He pulled it open to find Misery and Penny. And she also brings her cat, named Mr. Mr. Mephistopheles.
Also, during the 19th century, the Romanticists were having one big orgy. Okay, no, they were not all engaged in one great literal orgy. Though they did do some of that, but no, that's not what I mean. The
writing is
Romanticists as a
so
whole
amazing.
were the
What do you
parents of the Hollow
mean?
Ones. They provided the sperm and the egg. They
Yeah.
produced the right chemistry for us to come into existence.
No, they didn't.
I just want to point out this one little thing. Misery's face was split into a huge grin. She had
Yeah.
dressed more goth than normal, though only slightly, looking like a modern-day highwayman or pirate.
Oh no!
She's dressed like Styx.
She's Styx hexing hammer.
She has the
666
fucking pirate hat.
maxing.
She has the pirate hat and leather jacket.
I'm a vampire.
Wait, is Styx one of these? One of these
Oh my-
assholes?
You're right.
I can see it. No, you're right. He is a hollow one.
I'm dying.
Everybody
I'm dying
here is
right
a
now.
fucking
The technocracy arrested Styx to suppress the truth.
They used their Formoria they hired from Pentex to Jailhouse Rock him.
If anyone doesn't know, this guy used to be a pig YouTuber who was like a
He was a libertarian. He was a libertarian who would do like political ramblings that were like anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes long. Very low effort, but he did a lot of them. He covered news. People kind of liked listening to him. He got on the Trump train, got off his schizophrenic medicine, and self-destructed.
And now
may
he's a
now be
pirate.
going and may now be going to jail for
Again. He may be
Domestics.
going to jail again.
remember, again.
yes.
Because here's the thing. At one point, he became the only white boy in a New Orleans prison. Filled with mostly rapists.
But back on to Mark, who's getting jailhouse rocked mentally. I've often argued with Neville about this point. See, I believe the technocracy actually began to take hold of humanity during the classic period of the 18th century.
So, okay. I understand this is coming from the point of view of people who don't have the pure meta knowledge, which is fine. I actually think that's a good idea because it gives you the writer, you the storyteller ideas, and it's also to show that no one knows everything. But you could argue that it happened earlier with the Order of Reason because it's really early, but its full structure didn't come about until the British, until the Victorian times.
Saying they embraced the idea that rational and scientific thought could liberate humankind. Not much good came of that. You know,
Yeah,
like better living conditions, treatment of disease, advanced industrial power, literacy, standardized education,
that's all terrible.
vaccines,
No,
natural
no.
identity.
See,
Um,
the vaccines are pushed on us by the technocracy.
So the whole
the idea that
This is what the
the
Verbena actually
yeah,
believe.
yeah,
the equal rights of man, the consent of the governed, democracy in the
watering the tree
modern
of liberty
sense,
with the blood of tyrants.
ending slavery,
Yeah, abolition, that was a mistake according to the hollow ones, I guess.
suffrages, suffragettes,
Suffragette. Oh, also don't forget going from the power of the wealthy to the power of the people, because remember
ending
originally you
s-
had to
yeah,
own property to vote.
ending serfdom,
Abolishing that, yep.
planes, trains,
And
and
automobiles,
automobiles.
yeah.
Like saying it. So the Romanticists crashed the party. They barged in and thumbed their noses at the classics and the Enlightenment. Where the classicists produced cold, dead, lifeless art and music, the Romanticists poured their hearts and soul into their work.
So
Oh,
for
so
those wondering,
these are the anti-AI activists.
so what they're doing poorly is explaining art history. This is the worst introduction to art history I've ever fucking heard. So, okay. What they're trying to explain, and partially through the hollow ones as well. Like, this is so bad, I'm actually struggling to I am struggling to use my vocabulary. That's how amazing this book is. Classicism as a concept, it's another throwback to the old style of things, like the Roman and Greek method. It is to classically nail all tones and pictures and all this sort of thing. It is a way to try to be closer to life, similar to the Renaissance style paintings, because they got off of that a little bit. The way Romanticism did, as a thing, was specifically it wanted to show not only the boldness of larger than life characters like Napoleon, but also the point of romantic art was snapshots into the daily life of a person.
Mhm.
This is why romantic painters will sometimes depict art, artists doing their work, or farmers hauling in their crops, a person tending to their pigs. Simple life, the simple life that people tended to forget. Moments of life being, to be closer to that. This is what they're trying to explain artistic trends without A, understanding it, and B, trying to tape on their shit to it because they don't understand how to do this. Basically, the Hollow Ones only existed because a failed associate of Aleister Crowley was like, we're the Hollow Man to a witch.
Also,
And they can't seem
Simon,
to accept that.
You are right. Lord Byron was anti-vaccine,
Probably.
or at least vaccine hesitant.
Probably. If you're wondering, vaccines have been around since 17th century to inoculate slaves from smallpox. Where was it? So yeah, the classicists were restricting artistic expression to copying what the Greeks and Romans had done, down to the exact measurements. The Enlightenment was restricting how people thought. How? The Enlightenment allowed people to actually speak their fucking minds. You think during the Enlightenment was the counter to the age of absolutism before? You want to go back to the Sun King and the ability to kill people who disagreed with him?
But it's heroics.
So we heard it here. The Hollow Ones advocate for murdering people who disagree with them. Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen.
Among the Romanticists were Delacroix, Gustave Doré, Alfred, Lord Tennyson, William Blake, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Percy Bysshe Shelley, Keats, and of course Byron.
Keep your name out of keep Lord Byron's name out of your fucking mouth. He actually had the balls to go to Greece despite being a cripple.
Died at the age of 36, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I
Oh.
never got to show off the Gothic architecture. So first off, this is the first example of Gothic architecture. This is the stuff that the Hollow Ones claim to have made. This is the St. Denis Cathedral, which is actually pretty modest by modern iterations of the style that you would see, more modern versions. I actually really like it. It's mild, understated. You can see the Romanesque aspects where you have the tall columns, but you also see things like the ribbed vaults and the peaks, the pinnacles that they would do. That's an example of early Gothic. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do art history here because these guys failed at it, and I want to at least make sure you guys get something that's not suffering out of this. Something.
No, you're just gonna get suffering.
Suffer, audience. Welcome to the illustrious Scum
we've-
stream,
It's
where
been
you
an
get nothing
hour
but
and we're
suffering.
only 20 pages in.
That's actually better than the last time I read this book, where we would have still been on page 4.
This is such a terrible book.
And here's a
It
later
is.
version of this. And the reason I'm building up to this is I have a funny little shit post I have of Lord Byron. I just want to show this stuff off before I forget. Because that's
trying
how
to
good
remember,
this
Lord
book
Byron-
is.
Lord Byron went off to be gay in Greece and fight the Ottomans and died. Am I remembering that correctly, or
You're
am I
correct.
thinking of somebody else?
You're correct. He died on his way there, if I remember right. And last but not least, Elliot is...
Beaver.
Oh, no, that's Elliot's displeased. I've already shown him. Concern. There we go. That's the little meme I have of Lord Byron. I just wanted to show it off. That's the expression on his face when he realized he got referenced so much in this book. All right, back to our daily scheduled program of pain.
You've undoubtedly noticed that I am goth. I wear black. I like lace and silver buckles. I wear fancy shoes and fit perfectly in a Tim Burton flick.
Yeah, I'm aware that you're a hack fraud.
We are romantic. We are heroic. We are larger than life. We mourn. We celebrate. We espouse intelligent revolution of the mind and heart.
You guys
No.
started out of glam rock. You're fucking idiots. Okay, so for those curious on where Gothic subculture actually came from, it started from glam rock and post-punk. Some guy literally said the word punk gothic, and that's where it stuck because it was at a shitty nightclub in 80s Britain. It was inspired by Sartre, of all people, partially. Along with other people. Basically what happened was, so there's a style of work called Gothic literature, which I have no fucking clue why it's called that, since it's at best tangentially related to this type of stuff. Maybe it's based on Grimm's fairy tales. Fuck if I know. It's closer related to Celtic stories, in my opinion. It'd be
It's
closer to call
called-
it Dunsanian, to be honest. But basically, a lot of goofy fucking horror happened, and then that got associated with the architecture. Basically, it's a loosely defined word that makes no
It's-
fucking sense. Just like
it's
this.
because okay. The entire reason why Gothic is called Gothic, right? The fiction and stuff like this is because it's meant to be barbaric and provocative and
Oh.
more medieval, more earthy, more, just the flesh, the blood, the stuff like that. Which is why you get like like Frankenstein, of course, Dracula somewhat, all the stuff that Edgar Allan Poe did. It's meant to be something kind of transgressive, I guess is a good way to put it.
So basically the modern
Okay.
day splatterpunk.
Okay.
Except that it has a lot more value than actual splatterpunk because
I kind of
It's
get
what-
it. It's just it feels really weirdly tangential, and it kind of shows in how they just don't seem to know what to do with this.
right, because it's like
Also-
actual Gothic fiction. It's like, all right,
I'm
Think about Frankenstein,
burying a
right?
man alive. The Cask of Amontillado is an excellent example of that.
yeah, but what's the actual whole thing about that? Like at the end of the day,
Dude fucked me over. Dude fucked me over, so I'm fucking him over back permanently.
Also, by
Exactly.
the way, the cat can talk.
yeah, the cat can talk.
It's a familiar. Familiars can do that.
Listen,
But I need
this
to
is the
say-
worst.
Yeah. So Penny's about to stand the Victorian era.
Oh, fantastic! This is the era, by the
Oh,
way. This is
boy.
the era, by the
Boy.
way, where you can give
Hoard it
cocaine to
entirely.
your children.
was a time of enormous social revolution. Many conclude the Victorian era was a backlash to the Romantic period, though the two actually overlapped.
Yeah, it's because Queen Vicky lasted for 60 fucking years, my girl. Also, I like how she... this is cope. This is cope
Well-
because she likes the period, but she also has to cope with the fact that this is where the technocracy became finalized.
But also this, Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. He came from the area of East Germany where the ancient Goths originated.
Oh,
Their hometown was even named Gotha.
No,
And you see
oh my god.
the numerology. The numerology points to the fact that this is actually just the continuation, the combination of the Romanticism of Britain and the royal ancient bloodline of the Goths.
I'm having a
The-
stroke.
the Goths are from Scandinavia.
They came
They
from
then
Scandinavia.
migrated.
And
yeah,
then
they then
and then they
migrated down to
migrated
the
to
Baltic
where-
coast.
They migrated
Then they
eastward.
migrated all the way down to the Pontic steppe.
And then
Yeah, they
Mark,
followed the Dnieper for a while and then swung over.
and then Mark, we can rejoin our brothers in Agartha.
Is this just like the Stonecutter song from The Simpsons?
Yeah,
Who controls
Yes.
the British crowd? Goths do.
he's-
Goths do.
she's literally saying here that like because John Stuart Mill wrote an essay defending the rights of women, that the Victorian era was good for women.
Queen Victoria actually told women, go fuck yourself, you don't deserve the right to vote. She literally said, go fuck yourself on that. She also said, go fuck yourself on divorce, if I remember right. She was actually, like, strongly anti-woman. Because she was very traditionalist.
John Stuart Mill is like the most enlightened philosopher you could get.
He's also the father of the concept of social democracy, aka the most
Yeah.
functional form of socialism out there.
I
Like,
know
what
there
a
were attempts to
fucking
stifle
clown.
and persecute homosexuals, but I do know that the queers
You would
were
be
coming.
thrown in prison! Oscar Wilde died in a sanitarium because he liked dick too much!
Oh wait, the movement towards liberation for homosexuals has been a long, complex road, but I and others I know believe that the Victorian era was a crucial turning point on it.
No!
Fuck Stonewall!
No! In the
Let's go
Victorian
for the
period,
picture of Dorian Gray.
in the Victorian period, it was only fine if you were in the smoking lounges and shit where people did, because they'd wink and nod, but the moment you got caught out, you'd be fucking crucified, or you'd be thrown into the insane asylum, or in some cases, lobotomized later on.
Also, when Wilde couldn't be kept from the fascists from throwing him in jail 40 years before they were even a political movement,
Wait, did they actually go that? Did they actually write that?
I'm pretty sure this is meaning fascism in the colloquial sense.
No, it doesn't
Wait,
matter.
where?
That's nonsense.
Page, was it
This is
25?
fantastically shit.
I mean, and fascism is arguably a romanticist movement.
It is.
Like I don't know. There's some
Also, the founder of the first fascist organization in the UK, since you're going really hard on this British boo bullshit, was a bisexual woman with head problems.
Wait, what?
You didn't know? The original founder of the first fascist society was a bisexual woman who danced around in aviator goggles and a fucking coat.
You know, the idea
And
of the
Ernst
fact
Röhm
that
was hard gay and used the informal "you" with Hitler. That's how close they were.
You know what I realized? That this kind of explains a lot about Britain's right-wing leaders being women.
Jesus fucking Christ. I can't find the fascist line. Sorry, guys.
It's above across the waters.
Above
When
and...
Wilde
Okay.
couldn't keep the fascists from throwing. It's the first paragraph.
30 years before fascism was a thing.
Yeah.
America
Fantastic.
revolted against the British. They'd established a government all on their own, which merged ideas from the classicists and the romanticists.
What?
America was a romantic place back then.
Oh yeah, I
full
see it.
of
When Wilde
heroes.
couldn't keep the Yep. Yeah. Oscar Wilde, imprisoned by the British National Party.
Wait,
Oswald Mosley. So Oswald Mosley, besides shooting Kennedy, apparently imprisoned Oscar Wilde in an insane asylum for liking dick too much before he was even born. That's what the histories are telling me. This is the knowledge of Agartha telling me this stuff. God damn. All right, let's see how they fuck up the Civil War.
Well, shortly after the Civil War, American women started standing up for their rights.
No. Do you want to know? Okay, so this is do you want to know where the suffrage association you want to know why this happened?
Did
It's
it come before
because
with Seneca Falls?
partially that, but also because in the West, there's not a lot of people, and you know it's a really quick way to get statehood? Let your women vote. It gives you more votes. That's why the first people who actually allowed women's suffrage were places like Wyoming and Montana.
And Colorado.
And
Colorado
that's-
was another big one.
yeah, I like-
Another part about that is that it was the same reason to try to get people to come there was these very loose residency laws, which allowed for divorces on the quick.
Yep.
So it was very common to have these effectively hotels in the larger cities where you would go, you'd stay for like 3 or 4 weeks, you'd register yourself as residents, and you'd get a divorce. Oftentimes, you'd have one of the parties end up actually staying in the state. At least often enough that it did increase the population slowly.
This is also the same reason why Vegas has the quick marriage thing, because that's another reason.
Yep.
If you, it was easier to get married there too.
I also do like here. The United States was experiencing its own special version of a romantic period. Admittedly, it was a warped, hypocritical version considering what they were doing to Native Americans.
Oh, you mean like what the British were doing to India during the Sepoy Revolt, or what the Germans would eventually do by shooting a bunch of African tribesmen in a fucking pit, or what the French were doing with their own peoples in West Africa, or what the Ottomans were doing by recruiting Arabs to fucking bring them armies of slaves, or what the Chinese were doing to their own people because of the rebellions, or what the Russians were doing to their serfs, or what the Japanese were doing for their culture by restricting access to technology. Or what about all the horrible amounts
I
of
will
bloodshed
never
of the
forgive the
church?
Japanese, in the immortal words of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
And don't forget what the church was doing in South America and the many wars that were fought between people who wanted the church to fuck out of their lives.
I mean, I think the big thing, at least for the U.S., is
Oh, and
we
keep in
had
mind, Brazil had slaves still. Brazil didn't get rid of
Oh,
their
yeah.
slavery until the 1880s.
Romanticism. Ah, the imperial era.
But,
of
you know,
Brazil.
fuck us. Whitey bad. Whitey bad. Good
Well-
job, shitty
Well,
writer.
Counterpoint.
Who was
we were
responsible for the
violating
ending of the slave
treaties.
trade? Who was responsible for ending the fucking slave trade in 1807? What's that? Huh? What?
The Brits.
Can't fucking
The
hear
Brits
you.
were.
I know. But I know what the angle they're going for is, and I love the hypocrisy of them ignoring that Brazil kept it longer. And I guess fuck the Ottomans, right?
That's it.
Because Brazil
wait.
has no.
Tell that to the northern plantations of rubber.
I was gonna say no. Brazil has like no aura. You know, like everybody fucking forgets about Brazil. Genuinely.
Well,
You
at least-
mention all this like shit in the globalization of the world and all this, and everybody fucking forgets about South America. It's the least relevant continent after Australia, really, because Australia at least gets mentioned occasionally.
You say that, but here's the other thing people forget about you. So, you ever want a lot of the artists that are currently used in modern slop entertainment, the ones who do concept arts, they're hired from South America because they're dirt cheap. They're really cheap and they're pretty darn good. So a lot of artists from that region actually get hired. Essentially, the great sucking sound has moved southward.
I mean, it's like the oh god, it's like the you've played Hoy. You understand. South America is the place no one wants to go. It is the worst. It's awful. Nobody cares.
because they kind of stopped being geopolitical powers from 1821 to like 1990.
Yeah, because partially because nobody
They
gave
kept-
a shit about them.
And also, I mean, they were economically.
They were economically important to like certain industries. There was a goddamn military naval arms race between Argentina, Brazil, and Chile. But for the most part, the great powers kind of agreed that it was more Britain's area of influence, and everybody else kind of just fucking ignored it.
Till the Monroe Doctrine.
No, like the Monroe Doctrine really didn't apply to this because was the U.S. going to
As
tell
long
the
as you weren't
British that they
blatant,
couldn't?
no. As long as you weren't blatant about it, the British could get away with a lot. That's why
Well, the
Argentina had a. If you're wondering, most of the beef the British would have was from Argentina.
Right. A lot of it
Hmm.
is that there wasn't direct colonial control in South America. When we're talking about what the British were doing, the British were mostly trying to maintain the status quo between the various countries, especially between Chile and its neighbors. They had
Didn't want Argentina to become too strong, but also didn't want Chile to win. Also wanted to keep Brazil off of Argentina's back.
also wanted to make sure that the fertilizer shipments from Chile and Peru were continuous,
Because
along with
that's
the
where most
mineral
of the
deposits. Yeah.
because guano deposits were also critical for gunpowder at this time.
Yes. So
And
there's
explosives.
there's an awful lot of reasons for
Why do you think
South
Bolivia
America.
got absolutely butt fucked by Chile? The Brits were like, yeah, yes, Angofasta.
Or
Excellent.
Paraguay, which lost 90% of its
Paraguay.
men.
That's the U.S.
Well,
stepping
That was
in.
no. Okay, for those that don't know, there's this fun thing called the War of the Triple Alliance. This is when Paraguay decided that they could in fact be a great power, and to do so that they could fight everyone all at once that bordered them. This is Bolivia, Brazil,
Which at that point was
Argentina.
considered potentially the great power that could balance the South America against North America, by the way. Brazil at this point was
Yeah,
considered...
Brazil was
and again,
considered at this point a heavyweight.
Killed
The
90% of the
result
male
was a war that
population.
killed 90% of the male population of Paraguay.
And like 20% of the female population because they started drafting women.
Oh, no. To the point where the Pope had to grant polygamy just
Basically,
to
as
maintain
like
the
a
population.
Oh,
not
and
even
the
as
only
like a
reason the
population
death
thing, as
war
like as
stopped.
a production thing, like the local priests started doing that because it was just the only way to get some of this stuff working again.
And the Pope acknowledged it, but the only reason that the war stopped was so Rutherford B. Hayes, who was elected on a corrupt bargain.
It stopped because the El Presidente got himself fucking killed, and then the negotiations started for the end of it. And one of those involved is, at the time, President Rutherford B. Hayes, who's part of the reason this all kicked off because he sent a steamboat up the river to Paraguay, which was closed to outsiders at the time with an American consul.
You're learning about
I'm
the
not
history
joking.
of Paraguay, Dark Sun, because this book is so bad. We're taking a psychic break to continue more of it in a bit.
Also, well, I do want
So, can I finish this
Yes.
bit?
Yeah,
So
yes.
basically, Hayes looks at the map, and at this point, a lot of the conflict has been over what are the actual borders in South America, because no
Not
one
only
had
the actual
fucking
border,
decided that.
but Paraguay, the thing Paraguay was really desperate about was control of the river, the Rio Plata River, like being able to ship in and out, because if it can't, then it
Yes.
relies on Argentina basically letting them. So what
Right, which
Hayes
they
goes,
did not want to have happen. Hayes basically
says, we're treating it like the Panama Canal, where it's bilateral, like basically you get
no
to
one
be
can
able to ship.
restrict the river trade. You
Yeah.
can strip what you can up there. That's, I think,
Up until
fair
you
for
hit
everyone
you hit
involved.
the river. Up until you hit the river mouth entering into like the Gulf.
Yeah. Basically, so that was like step one. Step two is that they acknowledged that a lot of the claims that Paraguay had in Argentina, which by the way went all the way down to the sea,
We're bullshit.
because of course, South American land claims, all that.
Third
that
off,
was
no
tossed out.
Argentina. You cannot own Uruguay because I saw you try to invade them during this war to install a more friendly power.
Yep. By the way, this nearly caused a war to break out between Brazil and Argentina while they were also fighting Paraguay.
So
And then the
no,
last thing that comes out is there is a nice section that is sort of in the northern bit of Paraguay that are, if I'm remembering correctly, this was a
the
disputed.
Chaco Boreal. So in this
There's
one,
the Chaco area, but the other big one was this area that's sort of on the border with like Argentina and Bolivia. And effectively speaking, it was disputed territory because all three powers are claiming that it's theirs. And Hayes looks over at it, looks over at the geography and goes, you know what? This is Paraguay's, because it geographically fits what we are doing with their other borders a lot better than it does fit into either Argentina or Bolivia.
also they're a lot weaker than you two. So on top of that, it's not like you can get into a pissing match.
And by the way, this was like a third of their claimed territory.
Because
Hayes
did
was
make
Argentina
sure, because Hayes did give a decent amount to Argentina and some of it to Bolivia, but most of it went to Paraguay.
Most of it went to Paraguay. So therefore, there is an entire section of the country named after Hayes in
And
Paraguay.
he's also the most liked American president, like the most remembered American president in Paraguayan history.
Because he's pretty much the one that said, you get to stay an independent nation.
Not only that, but he ensured that they
He's-
could trade with the outside world and not get choked to death. Because that's the other reason. Argentina,
He
whenever they got a border crisis, Argentina would be like, all right, closing the River Plata. And they couldn't
Yeah.
ship their stuff down.
so he is the Paraguayan Cyrus the Great. He is
That's a
their
good way to
Messiah.
explain it, yeah. He is the Paraguayan's Messiah. And now he is the Quechua Messiah.
So
But yes, he's a well-loved
No,
national
not Quechua. That's
figure
Peruvian.
in
Guarani.
Paraguay.
I
which
confused
is
it. Quechua is
really,
Peruvian. Guarani is
Yeah.
Paraguayan. Sorry.
but he's a well-loved figure in Paraguayan history, despite the fact that most Americans don't even know he was a president.
Who dat? That's most Americans. Anyway, back to
So-
the terrible book. We needed a psychic break because this book is dog shit.
I'm gonna bring us to page 29,
I don't blame you. So we're skipping an entire section because
where they
Honestly, we
where
should
they
skip this
where
entire
they literally
book.
make the
Well, no,
and I think this brings the death nail to the Hollow Ones. There is romance in war. When you go to war, it says that you care enough to send the very best.
no,
no.
At least that's the way it used to be.
no, it never was.
There used to be a time when people were fighting for causes. Revolutions had meaning. Conquerors had purpose. Crusaders had righteousness.
So I
Whether
guess
you
our
agree
ISIS
with them or
cell
not,
is
you
right.
agreed with it was rare that war did not have some romantic quality.
It never was.
What do we have today?
A chicken hawk wrote this.
The progressions. There are some that say the technocracy turned war into an assembly line.
A chicken
who were
hawk
the
wrote
heroes of-
this.
Who were the heroes of Vietnam? Who were the heroes of Desert Storm?
Well, I can say we got Storm and Norman for fucking
I-
Desert
You
Storm.
know what? I'm pointing in the direction of where in Washington, D.C. is the memorial wall of all of the dead Americans from the Vietnam War.
Yeah,
Those are your heroes.
it's one of the best memorials that was ever
The,
made. By the way,
the men who were drafted to die in a war
they didn't
that
believe
was
him.
caused. They didn't believe that was caused because Americans lied about an attack on one of their naval vessels, and drafted these men to die, who later returned to be spat upon by anti-Vietnam War protesters.
Also, don't forget that this lame and horrible forever war was the product of over a decade of multiple administrations failing to understand communism and Henry Kissinger being Henry Kissinger.
and it all goes back to the French.
Thank you, France.
Oh yeah, the
very
French
cool.
are basically responsible for all of it.
So
I also just want to point out that
the romanticism, the romanticism, these are the people who will say the Hollow Ones will be the ones that would promote revisionist Civil War history on Stonewall Jackson. For the side that sent their young men to die because the rich men didn't want to give up owning people.
do you want me to get into how even the romantic wars are horseshit? So okay. By this logic, so the Knights Charge, that sounds really cool, right? Until you remember that the average working order for a medieval age war was, if you're forced to bring a siege to a siege, you fucking sack the settlement afterwards because A, your men have bled for that land, B, they've died and they're angry, and C,
See, they
it's a
need to get
cheap way to
paid.
pay.
Like that's the thing of the.
So give him a
like a
couple
lot of the
days to
facts.
loot the whole fucking place, rape a few women, and then come back with all their gubbins. Why do you think the British Army started with so many fucking pickpockets and thieves?
It's because it was studied work to be a soldier compared to almost anything else, and also because when the times got tough, you'd round up the poachers and you'd say, "Well, you're going to be on the archery campaign now because you can obviously shoot."
Yeah, it basically, like, for centuries, the entire thing was rich, fucking asshole, noble, delusional offers. There's the Ruperts throughout generations because they were the sons of kings, dukes, even like all the way up to like ancient times. And then you got fucking dirt farmers, bandits, and other fucking degenerates at the bottom. That's the whole thing about
Well,
war.
day laborers was a lot of them.
That too.
Again, uh, archery was a prized, valuable skill, but you couldn't always afford to upkeep archers on your own. So there was usually like state mandates, which resulted in some very questionable ways of filling those boots. As I said before, a lot of it was poachers that, well, you're good enough to shoot a deer with
Well, we
a
caught
bow
you
from
on
a
the
decent
King's Land,
distance.
but the good news is there's a war, mate. So you can thank God for that I'm not
Well,
chopping your hands off.
the good news is that I will look the other way this time and pay you good money to shoot other people.
Oh, don't forget the romanticism of pre-modern medicine, where
Oh
you either
yeah,
die in battle or you get injured and die horribly of sepsis.
yeah. 15-year-olds like, oh, steady pay for because they're a poor day laborer farmer from like say I'm just gonna make this up, like a poor day farmer from some little village, dying crying to mama in the dirt churned fucking morass of a battlefield, as the doctors try to balance his humors, and then he just fucking expires in front of them. Yeah, that's romantic. That's not fucking awful. And no, we're not
Now,
going with tragic. War. If you romanticize war, you deserve to go into combat at least once, just so you
Mhm.
can scream and cry to your mama when you realize what fucking stupidity you just said.
I also like this quote. That's right, proclaimed Nias. There's nothing romantic about firebombing whole villages
Oh
of
yeah,
women
a
and
new character
children like they
shows
did
up.
in
There's 5
Korea.
people. There's 5
Yeah.
fucking people in this section.
what do you mean there's no romanticism? I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory.
That
Do it again, Bomber Harris.
By the way,
UN intervention against North Korean aggression.
yeah, that was romantic. Oh, you know what was also really romantic? Since they mentioned the Crusades, the sack of Jerusalem. That was really romantic, as the Franks raped and destroyed most of the city to the point where even the Muslims or even the Christians were horrified.
Well, a good section of the Crusaders were actively horrified by what was going on. There was one of them that's noted as he'd put a group of people under his protection. They got killed, and he basically went apeshit about it.
So
And
romantic.
one of the
Also,
more
by the way,
interesting.
we finally get the name for Mark though. Mark Moon.
Oh, it's Moon Moon.
It's Moon Moon.
Also, the stuffed men section here. So what's the difference between the fetish scene and the goth scene?
Oh, if you're wondering who Pietro di
Oh,
Mostly
Genoa
God.
just
is, no, before then, Pietro di Genoa, he was from the Outcasts book, and he picked this last name di Genoa specifically because to him, I'm not even kidding. He chose the name di Genoa because if you say it wrong, it sounds like degenerate.
yeah.
No,
So,
that's actually in the book.
yeah. Saying mostly just the clothes. The difference between the fetish and the goth scene.
Pain.
Purity used to be a dominatrix, I think, but she says that fetishism has evolved beyond BDSM.
Yeah, they're trying to fetishize the school teacher pornography and going into TTRPGs.
Can we
Whew.
just call it here?
No,
I
because
I
we
am
can
not
skip
having a good time, bro.
we can skip
Oh,
forward through
this
this
is a
section.
blast. Do you like this hack job of a gun?
Oh yeah.
No.
It's like you put the barrel of a Maxim gun on a Lee Enfield.
Look.
Come on, men! Up! Come on, men! You know the most romantic song
It's a fucking
of World War One, in Flanders Fields.
so
God, that makes me want to fight a war.
you have the bolt action of a Springfield '03 or a fucking Mauser on a butt that's not designed right. The furniture's wrong for that. And then you attached. You're right. That is a fucking Maxim gun head. Oh, that's fantastic. By the way, the uniform's wrong. This is revised. So this is revised Mage. So it's a This is the worst book that we've ever read in Mage, I think. We could skip this session, just apply that to the entire book from NTR. Remember us dead and gone. I'm gonna forget this book when we're done. We lost one during a battle with Nefandi decades ago. His name was Bog Asphodel. This man named himself after a toilet.
Bog Asphodel.
A bog is a British slang for toilet. This man's a toilet. I guess we figured out where he got the nickname from. Hey, mates, just go piss on me. I'm a bog, eh?
Also, Penguin, I do have to say, what's the difference between the TTRPG and the fetish scene? The social awkwardness.
They're both the same. Can you show me a difference between this show's a BDSM lounge and then a tabletop group game company? They're the same.
Except in the BDSM one, when you do a critical failure, we actually hit you.
Well, no, except in a BDSM one, you actually have consent to say stop. Everybody's suffering, suffering, suffering. Oh, good. Oh, goody. We're in the counterculture 60s slop. Fantastic. It's going to be an ugly cry fest about them going to a war they never fought in, but they're going to shit on it.
Oh, what part is this on?
I'm
Oh.
on page. I don't blame you. I'm on page 33. I'm willing to skip this section and just move on to the next section.
Wait,
No,
they
this
never
is
did figure.
this is
about the-
entertainingly bad.
The night that Defandi jumped us to just celebrate New Year 64 had been a messed up couple of years. First, Marilyn Monroe died in December of 62, meaning I can't masturbate to her in the theater anymore. I think I can't kick me out. Then they shoot Kennedy a year later. Everything about 63 was just wrong. It was hard on those days to tell who was on your side and who wasn't. Evil and good both wore many different masks. No, you're just evil. We
There
were
were
hoping
heroes on both sides.
heroes on both sides. What? Little did we know we celebrated New Year's that night. It wouldn't be long before the new American administration would send U.S. forces to Vietnam. Okay.
They'd already been doing that.
Kennedy did. Okay. I hate when people do this because they already started on the ass end of Eisenhower for a little bit. Kennedy is the one that ramped it up. Stop fucking throwing on the shit that Kennedy did onto Johnson. Yes, Johnson doubled down and tripled down, but Kennedy was the one that started. I fucking hate people that try to absolve the fucked up, lied about his dying of a fucking adrenaline disease, womanizing piece of shit who was pushed by his fascist-loving daddy who said that in a fight between the Nazis and the communists, or against the Nazis and the Brits, he hoped the Nazis would have won. A fucking bootlegger piece of shit who worked with the mob. Fuck the Kennedys. Fuck Camelot.
The Kennedy curse was a blessing.
Ted killed a woman.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Also, don't forget what they did to their sister. Or what he did to his daughter.
Oh, and don't forget that his original successor killed himself. I think he killed himself. I know Joe Jr. had a horrible life because of Joe Sr. I want one of you to be president. Fucking destroys every one of their lives. So anyway, Anus sniffled. When everyone turned to look at her, she burst into tears. Oh, good, we're having a struggle session in this book. They're a third of the way in, and even they're crying at the magnificence of this fucking book.
Are we compromised? No, I wouldn't do that. I used a payphone downtown, I swear. I shielded my mind.
They used...
He wore the tinfoil hat.
Oh, they're referencing the Matrix. This is the opening of the Matrix that they just copied. Remember how one of them died in the beginning of the movie, and they were trying to get to the payphone? This is just them stealing from that.
She has touched the darkness, and it has touched her. You love her face, but you no longer know her heart.
I just hate. If you're wondering, Private Penguin, I don't hate the Kennedys because of the whole he got his hands on the Civil Rights Act. That's fine. I more hate the fact that he's fucking martyrized to this degree, and they ignore the negative qualities of the man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hate.
We have a terrible book to talk about.
True. Let's continue. Pietro turned. So there's like 5 people at this point. I can't believe you didn't tell me you talked to Giuseppe. He scolded. How was it? What did you say? This is not a book. This is a vagina monologue. There are 5 people in this scene, and they are talking to each other, and there's no ability to actually gain any details or information about this period because there are 5 people talking like it's a conversation, rather than informing you about what the history of these fuckers are, because there is no history. So anyway, the toilet dies. The man who got the name because everyone was able to piss on him and he liked it dies because because even the Satanist, the Nefandist, the guy who's basically Judge Holden, goes, "You guys are so fucking freaky. I don't want you on this world. Get out of my sight." Yeah, Judge Holden looked at them and said, "No." That should say something. They never did figure it out, whether it's because of the Nefandi or simply because her guild what happened. I think it cracked her mind a bit. I mean, I think everyone's mind's cracked from this. They left their
Oh, wait.
chantry and never came back.
That's-
So a guy
I-
died
I-
and another one left, and they're ugly crying.
I'm still scrolling through on page 39. Why do they call it the Hollow Railroad? It's better than the Hollow Network. The sounds too techno, you know.
The Hollow Network sounds
Railroad
better.
Hollow
has a
Network was
romantic.
better.
No, it has romantic connotations. There's always romance going on when railroads are involved.
They're
You know,
they're hobo
two
maxers.
homeless bums fucking each other in the ass.
Dude, so that's what the Hollow Railroad was. Okay, so let me explain this because this is something that's in this book and also in Outcasts. The Hollow Railroad is a dying tradition / group among them because they started from bums and hobos that would go on railways during the 20s and 30s. That's where they come from. And they're dying out mainly because that's not a method hobos use anymore. They are literally the murder hobo group. There is a cabal of mages in this setting, among the hollow ones, that are just rape hobos, and you just described what they are.
Like, I'm now on page 44.
I don't
I'm just
blame you.
trying to. I'm finding.
You're trying to
quotes that-
find meaning in a book. This is what happens
No.
when you write a book based on nihilism.
Being a hollow one isn't dressing weird. It's about. I always have a hard time expressing this. Being a hollow one is about finding your own true self and having the balls to show it off. Which now makes me want to have an entire group of hollow ones that are just drag queens.
I mean, so you mentioned that, and then there's Poppy Z, which, by the way, that's the dead name of a modern writer who's mostly known for writing gay horror.
Oh yeah, they modern writers like Clive
trans
Barker
man.
or Poppy Z. Bright.
If you're wondering, Poppy Z Bright had a sex change, trans man. So let's just say the Fujo decided to experiment by trying to become what they write about.
Hell yeah, sleepers are at even more risk because they're so naive and easily led like sheep to the slaughter.
Not like us, who all act the same and who have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Awakened artists have a little better chance of slipping under the radar just because they know what they're doing.
So are they trying to claim that all outside artists are their sleepers?
I guess.
Hey, Randall, did you know that Terry A. Davis is now apparently a hollow one according to them?
Oh no, not him.
No, he'd have to be a
Him
No,
being
honestly,
a
I
virtual
think
adept would be really funny, though.
a virtual adept, borderline marauder, I'd say.
No, he'd be a virtual adept going through disquiet.
Yeah. Although I could see Francis E. Deck being a mage.
Well, yeah,
No,
he's a
well, yeah.
marauder.
Yeah, he's just aware the gangster computer god is the technocracy.
No, oh god. Okay, so he's a marauder and he went insane because he accidentally got teleported. So here's a cool fact. Did you know that Technocracy has their own counter Earth, which was run by Friend Computer? There's an actual communist gangster computer god that just went insane in between first and second edition Mage, and is now essentially sending Cybermen to try to convert the rest of Earth into its being.
Holy shit! Francis E. Deck was a mage.
He was. He predicted that
Warned us.
He predicted that Autochthonia would turn into the communist gangster computer god that would try to turn everyone into gay monster Frankensteins.
But who am I? Who am I? A voice inside perhaps an avatar, perhaps himself replied, "Whomever you want to be." Now get the lube.
Oh, Lord. Whoever you want to be. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
I mean, true.
Being hot. So now, finally, after all that, we actually get into like understanding what the fuck these things are.
The hollow paradigm. Oh boy, we get to learn what their paradigm is. We finally get to understand what their rules for the world are.
To a hollow one, when you share secrets of the universe with someone who does not understand them, you've effectively given up all personal meaning these insights have for you. This is the reason the hollow ones do not genuinely believe in ascension.
Okay. So they don't. Their paradigm is personal. So exactly what my idea for them originally was. How does this make them different from the average orphan?
Let's see. The enlightened eye picks out a wannabe's flaws immediately. Dark Raven, or Puck, or Wednesday, or Lenore, all have the same story. They started dressing black because they hated it all, and of course they were the first in their school to dress in black. They all say. Oh, so they're
So
posers.
yeah, they're just a bunch.
Yeah.
They're just a bunch of posers. They're a bunch of losers.
Yes.
They're a bunch of losers who are late to the goth punk trend. They saw The Crow and they were inspired by it. During the 90s, the Hollow Ones had what some might be called an image skirmish with the commercial juggernaut of the Syndicate. Some of the elders think that the dark and cool overkill that assaulted the decade from the beginning of grunge to the bonfire of Woodstock was an engineered technocratic smear campaign. No, you see, the technocrats were responsible for us being cringe lords that were bullied to the
Wait.
point of being shoved in
I'm
lockers.
sorry. The technocrats were responsible for Woodstock '99.
Apparently.
Yep.
Where?
So
Rich-
was Pentex, apparently.
Rich Voss was a member of Syndicate.
Listen, this is also
Rich
in
Voss
the
was.
Children
There's a
of
video of
Gaia
him.
book, revised, where they mentioned that Pentex was at Woodstock 99.
Also, you are correct, Simon,
not
that the
supposed to.
Euthanatoi, that whose whole thing is studying death and the concept of ephemeralness of life, and talks about death. That guy is less lame than these guys. A Euthanatoi is way
so I
more
have one
awesome
question.
than this.
Why hasn't the two factions just used these people as just suckers?
They do.
Regularly.
Good.
The idea of worldwide ascension makes the average hollower sick. Yeah, fuck them. I don't want to be near them. I just want to be a private. They're actually these guys are the equivalent of, are as bad as the archmages that just fuck off to their own horizon realms. They're just as
At least
selfish.
the archmages are supposed to be detached from humanity.
Well, no, the archmages are kind of supposed to be that, but they're also trying to ascend and aid others in doing so in a way by showing kind of that you can.
Oh,
If all
I
the
like
beer
it.
swilling propaganda accepting mindless sheep, you mean you, Mister? I'm a fucking I'm made in a factory. Here's the problem. These guys are made in a factory, literally.
A punk factory.
Yeah.
They're punks.
The concept of personal ascension is absurd to many hollow ones as well. The prospect of one day muttering the word "that's it" and promptly disappearing in a poof of white light is an utterly escapist, not to mention nauseatingly stupid goal. There's only one thing that a hollower owes the universe: to make it more romantic and passionate. It doesn't matter if it's tragic romance, heroic romance, or ironic romance. So these are the people that's currently writing in Hollywood, and they're probably screaming and wondering why the people are revulsed by what they write. Acting as the protectors of the last scraps of passion that existed, working them like dying embers to the flame is the unifying goal of the hollow tradition. These guys suck. You know, I'm gonna explain what at the end when we're finally done. I'm gonna actually explain what I would do since they're going very Toreador artist with it.
All right. Page 56. Hollow One foci. Makeup.
Yup.
A careful and controlled demeanor is key to leaving impressions with others. Clothing. Cloaks, special soul self-symbol necklaces, and even dresses or pairs of magic boots are common among females, while leather trench coats are common for males.
Trench coats became a lot less popular after Columbine, my guy.
Along
fucking get out of it.
Along with a trusty shotgun and my own personal Doom mod. Or Doom wad, I should be specific. tattoos.
They treat these garments with as much significance as any hermetic's true name. Oh, that's embarrassing, because the Hermetics, so if you're wondering, the Hermetics, they spend much time reflecting on their being of nature before they discover what their name is in reality, at least via their understanding of it. Like,
See,
that's a very personal
jewelry.
and deep soul-searching campaign for a Hermetic. Meanwhile, these guys just go to a fucking Spencer's or Hot Topic and just fucking...
You know that they're going to a Hot Topic. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, there's no goddamn way that these people could afford
Let's see.
Spencer's.
True.
Tarot decks.
Oh, also, the Hollow
Seances.
Railroad, the spray paints and symbology, it's all hobo scribble. Which, by the way, was was much better done by the Prometheans.
There's been a lot of
Runes and sigils.
Look at this clown. Look at this clown
Familiars.
with his skull.
I am in the French movie because I have the skull.
He's looking so angrily at it.
Alas, poor Yorick, why are you dead and I am not?
Alas, poor Yorick, why did you kill yourself before this book was written? Now I have to do this alone.
Familiars. Let's see. Cats, rats, snakes, lizards, crows,
Hey, look,
ravens, owls, and
it's
dogs.
Anissa. On page 58, that's Anissa.
Ian Jama is a mage
I can see him being a buck broken hollow one.
who's just gotten so much paradox after he was able to get away with saying a powerful word in public.
Yeah, the words of
'Cause
power
now-
broke him.
She looks like Gollum in drag.
Bless us and
You're not
splashes
wrong.
us, my love. What brings young Bagginses to my parlor? Yeah, they haven't explained their whole they don't even know what romance is, Squirrel Killer. You notice that they're just saying things like these are things that make you feel, but they don't understand it.
You know what I
It's
realized?
amazing.
Considering that they use like Carl Jung and Nietzsche have influenced Hollow One arcanology. You have someone who dresses up as Dakafal.
So here's the thing. The reason they go with Nietzsche is at its core, Hollow Ones are supposed to be nihilistic, where their entire understanding of reality is you have one life, and there's no cosmological higher purpose, right? You have one life, and it's up to you to determine what you do with it. That's the point of the Hollow Ones, at least according to original Outcasts. So, because of that, their entire thing is to try to do as much as they can before they kick the fucking bucket. Sounds a little less stupid than what we're getting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But
Also,
we're not getting
Dark
that. We're getting Toreador Vampires as written by a person who writes about maidens getting abducted by werewolves to ride their red rockets to eternity.
Also, Dark Sun. Yeah, the weird kind of out of proportion stuff, that's just Leaf Jones's style.
Well, sometimes he's usually a bit better with that style, but Leif in this one phoned it in, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
I do hear the rotes.
The rotes. By the way, cat lady. This person she's basically going, so you're gonna get eaten by Tibbles, Frisky, Skittles, Desi, and finally Arnaldo. You're gonna get eaten by them just like they'll eat me when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I also do like that they have Mind's Eye Theater.
Which, by the way, is not a very good system.
Yeah. So being invisible forces 3 mind.
That's right. They included the Mind's Eye Theater stuff in this book. I completely slipped my mind.
So to remain this, arms are folded across the chest to represent being cloaked, and to remain unseen, a mage must remain still and quiet.
By the way, if you're wondering why, okay. This is from Vampire. So Mind's Eye Theater was codified by a bunch of vampire LARP, and this was originally the symbol for obfuscate. When you were doing a vampire LARP, if you crossed your arms like that, that meant that you were invisible, at least as invisible as your power could be. So they're just copying and pasting from other Mind Eye Theater stuff, and it's a system that works for LARPing, but the problem is you're fucking LARPing. there's better methods you can do than that.
I do like the name though of this road. Bum a dollar from the universe.
Yeah, so remember when I said that it's not just a technocracy? Yeah, they can do that. On general principle, Hollowans hate to play the technocracy's money game, yet they can't deny that such a trade medium is often their only means for survival. Hence the creation of this route. Hollowans using it can find money, fairly large amounts of moolah, just enough to get by, rarely large amounts, but just enough to get by on. It's an effective and mostly coincidental survival technique. People drop money all the time. So basically, they use this to rob people. Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it's just more like whenever
No,
you see
you
like a
compel the universe. No, it's not like you finding. You compel people to drop it.
cup of Joe, coffee ritual.
Says the people that only drink double espressos and don't have their own samovar. Even cola for those who just gotta be different. Yeah, we're individualistic. We have our own trend, but if you drink Jolt Cola, you're a fucking square. You gotta drink the same double espressos as all of us do. Ideally, in the exact same milk and fucking cream category.
Hollow necromancy.
Yeah, they can do that.
Blood from a stone.
So Gon soon realized their deceased allies are oftentimes at odds with themselves. Every now and again, a poor soul freaks out and becomes extremely self-destructive in one way or another. So basically, this is a way to gaslight wraiths into doing things for you.
There's also oneiromancy.
That's if you're wondering, oneiromancy is the study of dreams.
When their habits get very bad, other Hollow Ones have to drag their narcoleptics away from slaying dragons and flying with Peter Pan. Not unlike video game addicts.
That's the worst analogy I've ever heard. And there are some amazingly terrible analogies in modern entertainment. I love the expression on Edgar Allan Poe in the background there. Like, I love the disappointment in his
Why?
eyes.
Why did you put me in this book?
Just the expression on I love the expression on his face.
He's clutching his chest like he's having a heart attack.
Well, yeah, he's having heartbreak because his Lenore's dead.
But then they give us all the personalities, which
Oh, these are
Neville
going.
Sinclair Nevermore, gay fop who never got over his love interest.
No one knows anything
He actually
about Neville's
he actually does. He somehow looks like a drag queen trying to look like a drag king.
He looks like he's got the Innsmouth look.
He does. He's 5% Welsh. Watch out, he's 5% Welsh.
Then there's Penny Dreadful, who I'm pretty sure is a BPD whore.
Yeah, this is the person who 5 weeks later. Oh wait, no, I just realized this is.
By the way, that's the same Penny that we saw earlier in this book.
Yeah, don't you like how fleshy and voluptuous she is? So fleshy. She's Gomez Adams maxing.
I want to rip that neck flesh off and smother it in a nice wine broth.
Why is Gomez Adams dressed like Morticia? It's the hair. Like, the part in the hair looks horrible. Also, that cat looks very disturbed and scared.
Josefa de Esperanza.
This is just a disappointed. This is a disappointed Latino mother. She has La
fat.
Chancla. She has La Chancla in one of her hands.
Yeah, and then we have doing an all hollow chronicle, which I assume just means you whine, bitch, moan, and then have your characters roleplay cutting themselves.
So what you do is first you pull out a crack pipe, then you pull out a bottle of absinthe. You chug one, do the other, and then as you decide to hollow yourself out by collectively group shitting begins at 7, and then you start playing.
Then you have a combination of characters you can use for a cabal, including a literal carny, who is LARPing as both goth and gypsy.
Oh, apparently Dark Sun's crashing out by calling. So Penny Dreadful. I'm not calling her voluptuous. The fucking book did repeatedly.
The book did multiple times.
creepily. I mean, this is also the book that legitimately has the main character sniff the smell of sex off of one of these characters.
Then let's see. We also have the character of Mohica Mo Guyot, who's from Nova Scotia, and he liked Mohican because he just liked the Algonquin language as the people of the tidal estuary.
Okay. That's one of the choices of all time.
Uh,
Oh, this isn't entirely Gypsy Carn. Oh no.
oh, they are gonna take so much copper.
Ah, yes, Mina Minue, Mohican
How do they get?
Moguya. Oh, look at this guy. Look at his he's part turkey. This is Innsmouth. He's Innsmouth maxing.
He is
He's-
Native American descent. Although if he's
He-
Canadian, you should have said First Nations.
No,
Looks
he's
like-
from Dunwich. He's from Dunwich. Remember the fucking pile of stones on the mountain that they did the rituals on? That's where the natives did it. He's from that tribe. He worships Yog Sothoth.
He looks like a Turkish Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal is Mohican Moguyo. Oh, no, you're right. Because remember, he sometimes LARPs, remember, he LARPs the spiritualism shit. I could see Steven Seagal pretending he has native ancestry in that movie.
Yeah.
And, you see, you see the banner of his tribe's totem as he's, doing bad Aikido at people. Oh my god.
The Russian people have always been the protectors of Native Americans.
I swear to God.
He decided to go to a carnival and have fun. They rode a couple of rides. They went through the haunted house. He flirted with women and at the softball toss booth. They had a good time. And then they went
Remember, this guy-
They went to the fortune teller's booth.
Also, remember, this guy's wanted for murder.
Of course he is. Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen. And also, he wrote about the murder. He actually pulls an O.J. Simpson by writing about the murder he committed as a book.
Well, if I did it.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Except he didn't write if I did it. I did it.
I did it, but he changed the name of the character.
I killed someone in Nova Scotia. And now for the darkest joke, but because it was a Native American woman, nobody cared.
Wait a minute. This book predicted a Frenchman doing the same thing.
He does have that JFRAP. Also, don't slander French. He's a Quebecois.
Quebecois, French. They
Those are
both have horrible things. I also like this guy having a nightmare because he sees the machine he's going to be a part of. Organized anything dulls the mind. All you have to do is look at organized religion to see what happens when a central ruling body starts dictating personality to its members. And the hollow ones don't do this. The hollow ones don't do any of that. We're kind of a combination of the Cult of Ecstasy and the Akashic Brotherhood, which, if you're wondering, did you know the Akashic Brotherhood was partially responsible for Unit 731 and the Nanking massacres?
What?
Yeah, they were pretty psychotic during the Imperial Japanese state days.
You know, I can at least say one thing for Mage. Nobody's good in Mage. Everybody's awful.
Nah, we're
I
different.
know.
You're right, Private Franklin. They're different. They're all individuals as they all drink double espressos, hold the cats that will eat their face when they die, dress in black, and cope and seethe about Molgoth
It's
being
the South
bullied
Park-
and laughed.
It's the South Park joke about how we're all individuals as they all dress. So you have to dress all the same and smoke cigarettes like we do.
I think that's what this book was written for. I think this book is written in response to that skit, yeah.
Nope.
Feels like it, don't it?
Simon, we're actually almost done. We skipped a third of this book just for people like you and Tech. We're actually holding back a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I do need to head out soon.
Also,
Like-
Private
Don't worry, we're
yeah,
almost
I'm
done.
Yeah,
sorry
same.
for I'm sorry for the joke, Private Penguin. Just something to lighten the mood from this abomination of a book.
So they talk about vampires and shapeshifters. And apparently all so here's the werewolf stereotype for those of you who love werewolf. They wear flannel and hiking boots. So okay,
But
so you're the goth. Okay, you're goth mommy. You're ugly goth
Oh.
mommy. As you get kidnapped by the hairy lumberjack werewolf to the land of 1,000 red rockets.
Oh,
one thing though.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm
It's
okay.
flannel and work boots. God,
Werewolves and
yeah.
goths
What about-
don't blend. Tell that to the Uktena
Wait.
who fucking ghost
No.
max.
But enough of flannel and work boots. But enough about the Black Furies.
Whamp.
Also, goths and werewolves don't mix. Tell that to the Uktena who literally talk with ghosts much better than you ever fucking could.
All the time, by the way.
Yep. So this is them trying to explain. Oh, let's see. What else is there? Oh, black people. Because that's an old-timey racist slur.
Oh,
Wait,
We
what?
love them. We love our black people.
oh, spooks. We love them, and they love us.
That feels like something you'd hear Joe Biden or Trump say.
No, that's the CIA they're talking about there.
Let's ghosts.
Listen,
Go-
it's the
We glow in
CIA.
the dark.
Blacks
They
are
glow in
people.
the dark.
Wait, blacks are people too, and people can be everything from mean to cruel to downright homicidal. We realize the risks involved in playing with blacks, but they're cool, so it's hard to avoid the temptation.
You can also, if you're going with the FBI, like you said, Duck, it's also funny. Oh yeah, the glowies. We love them.
Blacks solve puzzles to a lot of followers, so let's like to solve them. We want to know how the blacks died. Why it's still haunting the real world.
Hey,
that
did you
sort
know
of
the
thing.
word necromancy has romancy in it? Oh, so
That's
Thing
not-
is, blacks are what you get after the tragedy.
necromancy
terrible.
has romancy in it.
So terrible.
So
What page are we on?
I'm reminded of a Boondocks quote that I shall not say again here.
Did the CIA introduce crack to ghost neighborhoods? let me tell you, Stygia used to be a lot better before the NWO started selling ghost crack to our community.
So, a lot
Spirit
of
nuke,
followers
that's not
are
what destroyed
envious.
Stygia.
Wait,
The spirit nuke didn't do that. What it did, ghost meth. Ghost meth destroyed our
Ghost
community.
Ghost Fent.
Wonder why you don't see Charon no more? There he is. He's a junkie over there in the crack pipe.
We only stopped the Ghost Fent by taking those that die from Ghost Fent and turning them into Ghost Narcan.
I know that's not what they were going for. They're just going for the spooks and kooks kind of thing,
Yeah.
creepy. But I was like, oh, that's an old timey racial slur, and then the necromancy turning into necrophilia also got me for a loop.
Listen, you cannot for the life of me not make that about the CIA because it is so much funnier.
Well, yeah.
When they talk about
Oh yeah,
that.
where they talk about fucking up the ghosts even more because it gets
Well-
funny because it leads to the NWO
Yeah.
ruining
Wait, the
Stygia.
CIA are
Yeah.
people too. We realize the risks involved with playing with the CIA, but they're cool, so it's hard to avoid the temptation.
The feds are like a puzzle to a lot of us. Some of us like to solve them, know what I mean? We want the story, the legend. We want to know how the feds died, why it's still haunting the real world, that sort of thing. We also want interesting friends. Have you ever heard how glowies also involve the word light in it? The thing is, the glowies are what you get after the tragedy. They're the souls longing for someone they've lost. They're the heroes of
It
legend.
works. It works way too. It works so much better.
The
Than
romance
the
of
blacks.
J. Edgar Hoover
Exactly.
arresting
You-
arresting black radicals while dressed in drag.
I'm just oh god, I'm surprised someone hasn't heard that into a horrible bodice ripping AI generated slop romance right there.
Huey P. Newton crossed with J. Edgar Hoover.
Throw in a little bit of like Sweetie Todd, a dash of Silence of the Lambs. And there you go.
Martin Luther King and George Wallace.
Changelings. You believe in fairies? Yeah, they exist. We don't know much about them. They're like the toy surprise in a cereal box.
We don't know much about the gays. They're like a toy surprise.
You come across one, you're undoubtedly in for a wild ride. Followers feel a special connection to homosexuals. That's why they're called homosexuals. Lots of followers are because homosexuals do what the followers try to do, but the homosexuals do it without ever breaking a sweat. They live the romance. Followers have to work at living the romance.
Look, a gay could just immediately deep throat a banana and use a zucchini all the way down to the hilt. I wish I could do that. So
It's much funnier if you do it that way than the actual fairy.
metrosexual, bisexual disaster wishes they were this hard gay.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we're just like them.
No, we'd love to get closer to homosexuals, but they don't trust us. I think that's silly. I think, as far as I'm concerned, we're just like them. We were born normal, only to discover upon our sexual awakening we had special interests and a unique soul that carried the wisdom of ages along with it, alongside clap, HIV, and monkeypox.
Listen. That fucking analogy.
Wait. Lots of followers are bitter about that too. Homosexuals can be really condescending to and snooty.
It fits too well.
Is this a transsexual allegory?
What did White Wolf mean by this?
First the feds and then the gays. What are they talking about?
Oh wait, no, I'm doing. You know what? Screw everything else. We're gonna try to see what group we can fit into the vampires and the werewolves. I'm going Jews.
Well, werewolves are
Jews.
lesbians.
You ever met one?
You ever
Everyone
met a Jew?
thinks that all goths are Jewish wannabes. They may have been true one time for a portion of the Hollow tradition, but it becomes less true as time goes on. Sure, most of us have sentimental attachment to Jewish mythology, but that's all it is.
Well, remember,
We like the
these are
combination
romantics.
of
Remember, romantics can also be used to describe fascism because of the national history legacy sort of thing. So this is them, like, remember, a lot of far right idiots nowadays are trying to say Christianity was a Jewish inside job.
But we like the combination of romance and horror inherent in a good Jewish tale. Over the years. In reality, Jews are much more dangerous than they are sexy.
Those Khazar mommy milkers hide much danger.
Orphans who flirt with Jewish society don't live very long. In recent years,
Goyim know.
Jews have become things that smart followers watch and respect from a distance. This new and healthy respect for Jews. Those are good because of conflicting interests between us and them. Hollow ones believe in living the romance. Jews prefer to hide their light under a bushel basket.
When an orphan clashes with a Jew in this way, you can bet the orphan's gonna disappear.
Down into the tunnels.
No, I'm
Jews
sorry.
may
You're
seem-
getting deplatformed and demonetized. Oy vey.
Yeah, Jews may seem cool and interesting and romantic, but they're not your friends.
What did the romantic
What
order?
did White Wolf mean by this?
Remember,
Wait.
its founder was pals with Crowley.
See, what are you talking about? Lesbians? Hell yeah, let me tell you, it's pretty safe to say that shapeshifters, lesbians, and goths don't blend. We've share the same cardboard box in abandoned buildings as the city lesbians. Yeah, I was surprised when I first learned about this too. Lesbians that live in the city, they have day jobs too.
Some of them are almost normal. Lots more of them in the woods. Since we never got.
The mythology doesn't spring spontaneously. Lesbians, Jews, I know, sounds nuts, but they're real.
I'm kind of envisioning Underworld, but instead of it being vampires and werewolves, it's Jews versus lesbians.
We gotta have the final battle on Epstein Island.
Well, we just made this book entirely worth suffering through for everyone else, I guess. We are about to get hit with so many goddamn automated ban hammers.
Thank you, Jews, lesbians, blacks, and homosexuals.
I guess that makes us masochists. That's how the werewolf section is.
I will say there's some funny stuff in the Hollow Heroes templates.
Oh,
you got the person who knows how to hide bodies.
Yeah, Troglor.
Look at this creature. It's La Creatura.
Troglor like berry bodies.
Droglor, what? No, Droglor, you want Droglor to find body? Droglor know where body is. Don't ask questions,
Trogler,
Don.
know where bodies buried. No ask questions.
Troglor friends with the ghosts.
Droglor made many of them himself.
and now the anonymous benefactor, hiding all of his
Hey, look,
ancient...
it's the Hollower trying to imitate the vampires. I mean, the Jews.
I'm trying to be a moil.
Oh, and his character description literally says that he got his wealth on the stock market. He's the financial elite.
This is it. This is if the sisters encountered Jordan Belfort in prison. Then we have
incest, actual
yeah,
incest.
the Gemini twins.
Also, the quote is from Aristocats, a movie so good Roy O. Disney died as it was released, which leads to my mental image of Roy O. Disney, the last of the Disney brothers, one of the original founders of the company. He's on his deathbed, right? He's on his deathbed in the hospice care, groaning, going, "Show me the dailies of our new movie," and then the work cut of Everybody Wants to Be a Cat from that movie begins playing, and you just see him. Like, you ever see someone smile because it is what it is, and you're just seeing something like a train wreck?
It's
he makes that expression, his breath exhales, and he just dies right there as he sees Everybody Wants to Be a Cat.
Let's see. Next is the Curious Coroner. Looks
Yeah.
like this was also stuck up the bum hole.
Well, remember, necromancy is the same as romancy. You remember, saying nothing means yes, he says as he opens the coffin.
Oh no, the wise flake. Prelude. Author Neil Gaiman likes to create characters that combine innocence with wisdom.
Yeah, he's a fucking hack.
Oh, that aged poorly.
Oh.
Yeah. So we have a necrophiliac, and then we go into noncery. Yay! Oh, Lord.
And then someone who has such sights to show you. The Freak.
I mean, that's just your average writer for Renegade Studios now, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's just your average TTRPG writer, to be honest. No, he's pygmy maxing. He's mimicking the pygmies from Warhammer Fantasy.
Oh no.
He's worshiping pygmies. He's worshiping his two gods, the one of trickery and the one of cannibalism.
And then we have the tragic heroine. Who looks like has just left school tomorrow.
I love the fucking preload for this. You sympathize with John Constantine, a character created by Alan Moore and the main protagonist in the comic book Hellraiser, published by Vertigo Comics.
I mean, the
very
nerd.
It's very Ernest Cline-esque.
It's Klein. Yeah, this is Ready Player One.
Oh, the next, the Reality Warrior. Are you ready to fight for reality in that kind of outfit?
Why does he have a walkie-talkie attached to his combat boots?
Because this is in the re-edit. It was a gun originally.
Oh. I think he's I don't think he's a reality warrior. I think he's a
I'm a
Oh no, I know what he's talking about. Reality, that's the gay nightclub. That's the gay nightclub where if you pay an extra 20, you can fuck the male strippers as long as you don't tell
I'm
nobody.
I'm a hacker.
Why are his
And then
boots
let
size 16? That's just how Leif Jones draws when he can't give a shit.
and then we have finally the references.
Yeah, usually these are at the beginning, but not here.
Yeah. Anything by Dead Can't Dance or Dead Can Dance. Grant Morrison's The Invisibles.
The Crow, of course.
Alan Moore's Promethea.
Groove about the Bay Area rave scene, which is probably really fucking dated.
T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland is
I'm
best
sorry,
statement on the.
I'm not a poetic soul, so I'm one of the worst possible options for that.
Yeah.
But after reading The Hollow Men in Patrick Starr's voice, and here's the thing, that section of poetry has nothing involving the actual conventions of poetry, but you're supposed to know the rules to break them. Yeah, but there's like nothing poetic about it. It's just word slop, you know?
The Craft.
Frankenstein, vampire.
The Crow.
Cecil B. Demented. Yeah, The Crow.
They had almost
Groove.
nothing. They had almost nothing when they made this.
You know what my recommendation for instead of this? Unknown Armies.
Yeah.
You want something that's very punk and grimy and edgy and is a bit crazy with its magic? Unknown Armies.
So
You can be a pornomancer where you get power by doing pornography.
I'm gonna rate this book because there's nothing of redeeming value. I can't even rate it. I don't think I can quite rate it. No, I actually.
True namer.
True, it's not actually a book that tells you anything. No, you're
This
not
is
wrong.
a complete waste of text.
This,
Yeah.
This gives you nothing of value for playing a character from this faction.
Well, it gives you like some talents or whatever those things
It gives you
were.
rotes, and that's about it. And that's the only reason I was thinking maybe deep hurting or just a dumpster fire. But no, you're right. I think it's
You
True
can't-
Namer. Most of it's complete. Like most of it, worthless.
I'd say dumpster fire because there's a little bit of redeeming value in making fun of it.
Yeah, but we had to do this together. If you read this by
yeah.
yourself, there's no way in fucking hell you'd finish it.
Okay, yeah.
Like everything.
hurting.
Remember,
This is
everything
just
is better
painful.
with friends. Playing Bad Rats, watching Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, or anything made
Jerking
by
off.
Hollywood. True. Having a dead body in an elevator for 5 minutes. That's great to have with extra friends. At least according to the Hollow ones. Whew. Yeah, that book's awful.
You know what I think is good then for a palate cleanser? We're breaking out Visigoths versus Molgoths.
I might want to abridge our Gothic stuff because I don't think I want to look at anything Gothic next week at all.
Yeah.
I've got in my hands an interesting book by Onyx Path,
Oh no.
which
What about Tune?
is
Tune's not a bad idea, but what was the Onyx Path one?
it appears to have been a book that was like made for roleplay gaming therapy.
Oh lord.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's fine if it's actually trying to be something that's like innovative and like a different kind of therapy. I have beef with one major part of it.
I'm gonna be
'Cause,
real
like,
with you. I don't think we're doing that one next week just because it sounds really fucking horrible. At least from your way of advertising it, although that might just be because we read I think the worst mage book that's ever been written, at least until Renegade or the new White Wolf writes the new mage, which from what I can tell is probably going to be more like Sorcerer.
I mean, yeah, this is a true namer book. This is no redeeming value. The only value
Well,
you
no,
can
no,
get out of this is to
no
look at this
redeeming
as
value is
the
dumpster fire. True Namer is this isn't a book, and I can agree with you. This doesn't tell you anything about the Hollow ones, and in fact, it ruined them. Like there was not much to ruin. I was actually originally going to show you guys parts of Outcasts, where the way they worked was they channeled, basically the concept was nothing matters, so you emphasize what you need to do. Your avatar and you focus on what matters to you in this life. You know what I mean? Where it's like you only have one life and you have to take control of it. That's kind of what the original Hollow ones were more like.
You know, the cool part of the Nietzschean philosophy.
Or at least part of it. The other part was a lot of parascience and psychology. You know, a little bit of Crowley, a little bit of like spirit cooking and that sort of shit. You know, a little mix of that. Like one part nihilism, one part eldritch scholar, and one part Ghostbuster.
One part 20th century occultism, basically.
Yeah. It's still bad, but it's better.
Yeah,
This
again,
is True
True
Namer. It
Namer.
actually makes this worse. It makes them worse.
It
gives
makes them
nothing of value.
objectively less playable.
Yeah. So it's True Namer. Next week, I mean, we could do Visigoth versus Molgoth. I don't think I want to after this for at least 1 week.
What about this game called Godsend Agenda?
What the hell's
No.
that?
A game of postmodern mythology.
That sounds even worse.
Let's just do Tune. Might be a good palate
Tune ain't
cleanser.
bad. I was actually going to suggest if we could find it as a shitpost. I don't know how long it is. Apparently, there's another My Little Pony book. I didn't know.
I don't even want to know.
We will
have a
surprise
lot of
people.
terrible options.
There are so many options that are bad and make me want to die personally that I might become a Hollow one. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yeah,
We'll,
good night.
We'll put a poll on our Discord, which is also in the description. I also linked to Outcasts, the Pariahs, mainly just because it's a better take on the Hollow ones, and you get actually something good out of it. You get K-Teef and Ronin, and the K-Teef one part actually teaches you how to build a discipline, so it helps. So
But
yeah, poll next week. Not poll next week. Poll sometime during this week. I'm not promising a day. It'll be up.
But don't you dare go hollow.
And remember, the Hollow ones can